I'm gonna wait for some ones in the chat to tell me that the sound works, that the video works. And then we're gonna get started. Meantime, I'm gonna tell you something that happened to me in elementary school. No, this is in high school. I had a teacher, and he went up. This is an English teacher. He went up to the English. He went up to the board, and he named like 10 different things. All right, based on how, like, really terrible things, and he placed them in random order, and we had to rank them based on which one of those 10 things is the worst, which one of those things is the least harmful to society. And it was like rape, it was fucking, I don't know, murder, Holocaust denial was among them, alright? And I was 17 at the time. Let's wait for some more people to tune in. We're gonna make this McLaren today, because I don't feel like recording this shit on video. So we're just gonna make a little part of it. But anyway, this teacher, he wanted us to rank these 10 things that he listed in order. What's the worst? And in my opinion, 17 at the time, my number one was like, I don't know, it was like rape or some like mass murder, school shooting. For me, obviously, that's the worst fucking thing you can do. And for me, number 10 on the list was Holocaust denial. I didn't even know what that meant at the time. Okay, if someone says the Holocaust didn't happen, how does that even compare to a fucking school shooting? And he looked at me, Aryan, you're a fucking asshole. You don't know, he was mad at me, because on his list, it was number 1. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Are you fucking crazy? And then I started to understand why this is, you know, a terrible fucking thing and all this. I was 17 then, I'm 24 now. Imagine how I am now. Alright. So I made this McLaren the other day. This was a challenge inside the Digitally Enhanced Club. I made the fucking steering wheel. And now I want to make the interior. So I figured, what better way to make an interior? I can talk to you guys and I can answer questions and all this shit. But listen, this is going to be a real headache, because we're going to have to spend some time just talking about this. I'm going to have to look into this. And tell me if the music is bothering you guys, because I'm going to be listening to music. I took off the ads. I don't want to have YouTube telling me what I can and can't listen to or talk about on my... I'm probably going to get banned anyway, so guys, follow me on Instagram, because you see the type of shit that goes on this channel. It's only a matter of time. I think I got shadow banned on Instagram, because when somebody asks me a question, I answer it, okay? And that's why I think I got shadow banned. But anyway, look. We're going to have to first figure out what's going on behind the steering wheel, because it's hard to see. Here's the problem with modeling interiors. You can't really tell what's going on. It's not like you can go download a blueprint for McLaren interior, and if I call up the dealership, hey McLaren, can I go measure your car and take some pictures instead? And they're going to tell me to go fuck myself, okay? So the best we can do is just look at pictures on the internet, put something together, and we're going to figure something out. So I got my little PureFL going on over here. Guys, what version of Blender are you using? Tell me that in the chat. I'm on 4.1. If it wasn't for this YouTube channel, I'd be on 2.7. Okay, I got another picture here, which shows me something about the back side of the steering wheel. Because this is the difficult part, alright? Because this is what you really can't see. And you have this part where the steering wheel can move up and down and all this. It sort of looks like the vaginal cavity. And then we have to make the frame around it. So I'm kind of gonna start making an outline of this part here around these stitches. That's what I'm thinking right now. And then I'll try to make everything else out of that. Maybe I'll make this part. The hardest part is to just get something which you can use to kind of base everything else off of, just for the sake of proportions. And then once you got that, then it's fine. 4.3, 2.9, that's what I'm talking about. No, I'm not modeling on a MacBook. I tried modeling on a MacBook, but it's a real pain in the ass. I was really disappointed by a fucking MacBook. Okay. And by the way, guys, this is not going to make sense for beginners, so just stop me at any point. Ask me questions in the chat, and then I'm going to stop and I'm going to explain what's going on, but I'm going to try to get something done. I'm not going to make no promises like I'm going to finish the whole interior. We all know that's not going to happen here today. I'm on 3 hours of sleep. I had a nice flying experience today. They fucked up the flight. It was like 3 hours late. And then they gave us water and they gave me a fucking Snickers bar. What a fucking joke. So I don't know how far we're gonna get here today, but I just want to get something going and answer some questions, and we're gonna see what happens. Why do you model so much interiors more? I don't know, it's fun, it's cool. Modeling cars is a real pain in the ass, to be honest with you. I'm not even gonna show you my references, guys, because I want to look at them on the side, and then from time to time I'll pull them in. Okay. So here's what's gonna happen. Maybe I can put a little picture over here in the corner. How are we gonna do that? Okay, here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna open the big picture on my second monitor, and then I'm gonna put this in the corner over here, so we can talk about it here, because you don't need the outliner anyway. I just need a little picture. Okay, so it's something like this. We're gonna need a... I'm thinking of just using a plane. Let me make my camera smaller. You guys don't have to see my titties today. We're gonna make this face us, and I'm just gonna try and use this to sort of make the outline. Imagine if you're looking at this from the front and you only want to do the stitches. So it's gonna be something like... Let's try to draw it first. From this angle, it'll go down to, let's say, here, around here, and then it'll come around here somewhere, let's say, like this. I'm imagining it's supposed to sort of follow the curve on the lower part of the steering wheel for design purposes, because they want this to look pretty, and they all these rules and whatever. And then it goes somewhere back here. It sort of flattens out, but from top view, it's gonna look like this, right? Like a bay. Hello, Aryan from Kazakhstan. Hey, we got somebody from Brazil. You know, I'm thinking about swinging by Brazil. I was just listening to some music that I thought was Brazilian. Maybe it's not. But I'm thinking about jumping over to Brazil. I heard Brazil is a place where people are extra rude. I'm in Poland right now. In Poland, people are fucked up. In Poland, they don't say hello. I've never seen anything like it before. And I heard that in Brazil, I'm gonna get a different experience. How do I go back to fucking... Oh yeah, Bushman. Hold on. Okay. I heard that in Brazil, people are nice. And people actually want to talk to you. People are actually extra rude. So tell me if that's correct, because that's why I want to go there. I want to go somewhere where you can actually communicate with people. Let's do 2 levels of subdivision. And we're going to subdivide them. We'll use something like this. Hey guys, there's something in my fucking G key. There's something underneath my G button on the keyboard, and it's fucking with me. I gotta press it like 3 times. Will you save the stream? I don't know, probably. I don't do anything. I just do what it does on default. So I think you can watch them from before. Hello from Russia. That's what I'm talking about. I also want to go to Russia soon. Let me go, man. I'll be right back with you guys. Just give me a second. I gotta get my blade. YouTube was banned in Russia. I thought in Russia, if you use YouTube, they come after you. I have no idea how this channel is still up, guys. See, Reddit found out about me. Oh, yeah, but the bus, Michael. Reddit found out about me and they went crazy, but for the most part, it seems like no matter how crazy I get with what I'm saying here, the chat is cool. The chat is usually with it. something sort of like this. And by the way, I'm trying to just keep this as an outline, but then I can't see it. So let's keep the geometry in the inside field. Maybe I should have just made the hole, the one that looks like a pussy. This part. Maybe I should have started with that. Because it's going to be hard to cut a hole inside this shape once it's done. So let's start with this part first, okay? Maybe let's keep this for later. Aryan, what do you think about Trump? I like Trump. I like Trump. Let me tell you something. I don't care about internal America. They always ask me this, and I always say the same thing. But when you ask me if I like Trump, I'm speaking to you from the perspective of who Trump is as a person, right? I like Trump as a person. I think he's an interesting guy, and I think he's intelligent. I think he's a very good example of a successful businessman. You can learn a lot by listening to Trump. That's what I always tell people. Tell me, oh, you're fuck. You have to be. People are sitting there criticizing Trump. Like, how did you vote for this fucking idiot? The guy's a multi-billionaire businessman. All right, the guy's been in the game for a long time. The guy's got some principles. The guy's got some morals. The guy's an intelligent human being. Okay, the guy conducts himself like a professional for the most part. Then you're gonna pull out something he said 30 years ago. Fuck you. Okay, the guy's intelligent. The guy's got brains. The guy understands how politics work. All right, nobody else does. He's not playing the game. That's why I like him. And I feel like my chat here also likes Trump. And I agree with what Dan Bilzerian said. That my only criticism of Trump is his support for Israel. So it's something like this. Some better music. This is garbage. This is garbage. What do you guys think about Trump? Do you like Trump? Or do you prefer Kamala Harris? You know what's crazy? How divided the American nation is. It's really hard to believe. No matter what issue is being discussed, it's always either it's the Democrats' fault or that's the Republicans' fault. You're an idiot because you're the Republican. You're an idiot if you're a Democrat. They both blame each other for the same things. Nobody knows who's actually at fault. It's just like a go-to excuse. If you're a Republican, you blame the Democrats. If you're a Democrat, you blame Republicans for everything. It's really hard to believe how a lot of these people operate. To me, this is pretty weird. What I'm trying to do now, guys, is I'm trying to make this little loop here with as much geometry as I think I need, so that I can get to a little bit of sculpting. But it's gonna have to be a little bit fatter, because I'm gonna sculpt these little wrinkles. You're Romanian. I'm not Romanian, but everything I learned about vices was in Romania. Romania is where a large portion of my character has been constructed, and I'm really grateful for that. Romania is always going to have a place in my heart. I learned to drink in Romania, I learned to smoke in Romania. I probably lost my virginity in Romania. No, I didn't. Romania is a great place, with great people. So here's the idea. Now, we're gonna make this look wrinkled. Like an old woman's... Guys, tell me the age of my audience here today. How old are we? I wanna know if I'm talking to kids, or I'm talking to adults, or if I'm talking to old men. I think like 0.5% of my audience is like 65 plus or something like that. There's a percentage of old people watching my videos, which is unimaginable. Look at me, I'm acting like a fucking idiot. I'm acting like boys' locker room in high school, and there's old people watching. That's crazy to me. And you know, they ask me, Aryan, why are you not wearing a shirt? Aryan, why are you over here naked? What's the matter with you, Aryan? You fucking crazy? And I'm thinking, look, you people are complaining about your professors at uni when you study 3D, alright? What do you want me to sit here wear a suit? When you sit at your computer, do you wear a fucking Armani suit? What do you wear? I know you guys, half you guys in the chat are shirtless right now. Who you kidding? Alright, don't fuck with me. The reason nobody pays attention in the uni is because the professor is wearing a suit. If I was your fucking professor, everybody would pay attention. Because we'd be talking about vaginas, drinking, and Donald Trump, and the fucking Holocaust, while doing 3D modeling. Nobody else on YouTube can do that. I mean, it's definitely gonna get me banned sooner or later. But for now, we're good. Okay, it's not working so far. We're gonna have to make these little parts on the inside. Guys, I'm not good at sculpting, but usually when I want to do something, it fucking works. It ends up working. That's weird. I'm trying to get this little sharp tool so I can make these little... You're playing me the same fucking song all over again. Maybe, you know what we can try? Using some proportional editing and get rid of my wireframe. Because what I should have done is dissolved some of this. Check this out. I should have dissolved some of this geometry that goes around this way. So I have longer edges like this, and then it's naturally going to look more like the reference image. But I basically just have to bust this up a little bit more. Let's try some proportional editing. What's going to happen? Because my O key, my G key is still fucked up. It's not going to work the way I imagine it, is it? Something like this. Alright. What if we try taking a piece like this and we just kind of push it underneath? You know who I need? Speed Char. Guys, what YouTuber, what Blender YouTuber should I talk to? What do you think? Who's cool? I don't watch these people really. I speak to a few other Blender YouTubers, but I don't really consume content, so I don't know about any of these people. What YouTuber should I try and talk to? Who do you think I'd get along with? Who do you think is like me? Who do you think wouldn't be scared to be associated with me? Because it's happened before. I met people through this Blender shit that were cool, they liked me and all this, but then they saw some of the things I talk about and they're like, nah man, I can't be associated with this. And I understand, I don't blame them. But tell me somebody who definitely would not do that. I don't know about any, I think everybody's scared. But hopefully I'm wrong. Are you into like punk rock music? Listen, I'm not a punk. Punk rock music like what? Give me an example. I like rock music a lot. I play the rock music. Man, fuck this. What are we talking about here? Look at this shit, man. Look what we're wasting our time. I want to do some hard surface modeling. You know what? Here's what we're gonna do, guys. Because nobody wants to see this shit. Let's be honest. Hey, you know what? That's not too bad. Nobody wants to see me do this wrinkle shit. Let's just place it back here just so it kind of looks like what we need, and then I'll do that later. This is just sort of to roughly define the shape for the back part of the console. And now we can get back to this part. And what has to happen here is this. I have to make this part go backwards. But I have to be careful how I'm going to change the shape. Because this part is supposed to go inwards. Thomas Cullen in the house. Thomas Cullen. You guys know, every time Thomas Cullen pops up, it's one of those, he's one of those people, you know, when they enter the room, you know it's good. There are some people, when they show up, you're like, man, fuck. I mean, I don't have those type of people in my life. I live a life where I don't have to associate myself with nobody, and I don't understand why everybody else doesn't aspire to have the same sort of life. I can pick who I want to hang out with, but I know from back in the day, when I was an employee, what that felt like. Thomas is one of those people that when he shows up, you're like, hell yeah, Thomas in the house. Did you guys watch my last couple of videos? I was trying to explain to you guys that nobody really knows. Thomas, answer my question, please, if you don't mind. When you're modeling something, Thomas, and it's like you try to figure out how you're gonna do this. You don't have a, you know, you start modeling something like this. You have to sort of try a few things, and it usually fucks up. That's my experience. I don't talk to a lot of 3D artists about 3D modeling all the time, so I want to know how you feel about this. Do you usually just know right off the bat what to do, or is it usual for you that you just fuck up like 5 times, you try something that doesn't work, and then you just gotta restart it? I want to know what Thomas Cullen has to say about this. Because Thomas Cullen should be everybody's role model for 3D modeling. This is not gonna work. This is not gonna work. What I'm trying to do still is just form the outline. I have too much geometry up here. It makes it difficult. But I kind of need it down here to shape this part. And this, the inner geometry doesn't matter yet. That's the main thing here. I'm probably gonna delete it. I'm just trying to shape the outside, and once we figure this out, this part out, it's gonna be a whole different story. Has anybody ever been to Afghanistan? Afghanistan, or perhaps Yemen, or North Korea, or one of those places. You know what I'm talking about. One of those places where if you go, your mom's gonna tell you don't go. She's gonna freak out. She's gonna tell you you're fucking crazy. Has anybody been to any of those places here? Okay, so let's check it out. I'm still supposed to make it a little bit smoother. Too much geometry on the outside. See, this is difficult to work with because the edges are going to be jagged. I think we're going way too high. And this is probably supposed to be a little more flat. See what happens. Okay, sort of, kind of. Let's see what happens when we delete the inner part now. This is supposed to be nice and flat. You know what's crazy to me? Please tell me which Blender theme you're using. I always ask me this. Look, you go matte cap up here. Matte cap, pick this one, go down here, switch to single, alright? Just replay this, because I'm not gonna go too deep. Pick single down here, change the color, then check cavity, set it to both, and crank all this shit up, and you're gonna be fine. Maybe something like this. It's supposed to be a little more round, and guys, this part is supposed to go backwards a little bit. And just so you know, we're gonna change the hell out of this later on. How can people play video games? Guys, who played video games today? Give me a 1 in the chat if you played video games today or this week. Be honest with me. Or 0 if you didn't play video games this week. What is it? Fucking Wednesday, the 22nd of January. Who played video games? Hello from India. I saw this video about India. They had this place. I don't mean to be rude, but I just found this very entertaining, very amusing. I saw this video about India. Look, everybody playing fucking video games, guys. I saw this video about India. They have this temple somewhere, and they got 25,000 fucking rats or mice. What is it? Misha, yeah. No, stuck with it. They had rats in there. 25,000 rats, and they take care of them. I don't know. It's some sacred place. I don't know what it is. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? And then this guy is leading us on this on YouTube somewhere. Is guiding us through the place, and he shows us now these rats are clean. They're drinking milk out of a bowl, and he just takes the milk where there's like 100 rats drinking, and he just takes a sip. No disease, no, just like it's clean. Don't worry about it. That's fucking crazy. I thought that was very amusing. But I actually quite like Indian people, because I don't recall ever having an Indian person be very rude or unpleasant. Indian people tend to be very polite, which is something I appreciate. I can't stand when people have fucking attitude on them. You know, when people don't know how to say hello, please, thank you, excuse me, when people don't know how to be polite. I can't stand this. But Indian people generally, without fail, at least the ones that I communicate with through this internet shit, they don't fail at this. They always introduce themselves, they always are very kind. A lot of times they call me sir. And then I feel bad because it feels like I'm a fucking lord in the Middle Ages. So I call them sir back. Someone explain this to me if you're from India. Why? What is it with Indian people calling me sir? I understand it's like there's like caste and shit like that as like social ranks. Because you understand that in my part of the world, I like to refer to people as sir, but it's not really common around here. I usually say sir if it's somebody who's older than me, or if it's in some sort of a professional setting. I don't know, I like using the word sir to refer to people, but Indians do it a lot more than me or anybody else that I know in this world. They're loud, annoying, and just stare at people. Yeah, well, I've seen that shit too. I'm not gonna pretend I haven't seen that shit too, but in my experience, I'm talking about the Indians that I haven't been to fucking India, alright? I'm talking about the Indians that I talk to. They're nice to me. I don't know what to tell you. You guys think that probably 5 years from now, these fucking live streams are gonna be, oh, they're gonna be haunting me. They're gonna be making clips about me and shit. If I continue on this YouTube, if I don't get shot in the head or hit by a bus, they're gonna be pulling up clips from these. When I'm talking about Holocaust denial, I'm talking about racism and all this shit. They ask me transgender, I'm talking about, man, transgender people are mentally ill. Man, but okay, but now it's Trump time, so now I think this woke shit is going away. It's crazy to me that you guys in America, you guys have to have a president say that there are only two genders, and that's like, wow, that's a new thing. In my world, this shit doesn't exist. In the Netherlands, yeah, that's why I don't like the Netherlands too much anymore. I'm sorry if anyone's from the Netherlands, I don't mean to offend you, but I don't feel comfortable in this place because I feel like I gotta keep my mouth shut. I can't be honest, I can't be myself because you got fucking, they acknowledge trans people. In my world, it's fucking weird. What are you talking about? A woman dressing like a man? Are you out of your mind? Or the other way around? It's just weird. That's the way I was brought up. That's the way I thought it went. And then they want to call me an asshole for thinking a man is somebody with a penis and a woman is somebody with a vagina. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. Are you fucking kidding me? And then the president says this and it's a big deal. It's crazy how that's one of the platforms on which he ran for president, is that he refused to acknowledge that there are multiple genders. That shit is crazy to me. The type of shit people are debating about over there is unbelievable to me. In my world, if someone's transgender, it's just, that person's crazy, just whatever, just leave them alone. No one takes them seriously. Because the other problem is, I don't mean to be a bully. I don't have no room in my life for hate. I think everybody who follows me knows that I only talk about positivity, but it's just like, it's just weird, man. If a trans person comes up to me and says hello, I'm fucking, you know, a girl comes up to me and says I'm John or whatever, I'm gonna be nice to her if she's nice to me, or whatever. Excuse me, you know, if they ask me politely, okay, fine, but I'm gonna think it's weird. I wouldn't treat the person any different. Just to be clear, I don't think you guys should do that either. If you treat somebody different, based on your political views, you're a fucking idiot. Okay? There's something wrong with you. You can't carry that shit through your life and walk around with hatred towards people. What do they do to you? What do they have to do with you? You can have your opinions, but keep them to yourself. In fact, you don't gotta have an opinion about everything. You know, I wonder if somebody started pulling out these live streams, because you guys, if anybody who knows me, you guys know that most of the time, I just run my fucking mouth. I like to talk. I just run my mouth and talk about random shit, and something comes out of it. Maybe nothing comes out of it. You know, in my world, it's, you know, with people that I'm comfortable with, it flies. It's fine. You know, and that's what I'm kind of known for. I just talk, and if the topic doesn't catch, it doesn't catch. I don't know. Nobody gets offended by me saying trans people are weird, okay? But they're gonna be clipping this shit until the end of days. Aryan's contradicting himself. In one stream he's talking about you gotta bully people, in the other stream he's talking about you gotta be nice to everybody. Aryan's schizophrenic. They can make a real clown out of me. It's gonna happen. It's only a matter of time. Okay. So here's what happens. Let's see. Let's take a closer look at this. Why are you using India? Don't have any identity. What are you talking about? The type of shit people write in these comment sections sometimes, I'm thinking, man, I don't know what to tell you. Because I try to be nice to people. I really do. I try to be considerate, but sometimes people just write something. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? How am I supposed to respond to this? I was raised in a way that if someone's talking to me, I respond to them. It's rude not to acknowledge somebody, but people come at me with all kinds of weird shit on the internet. It's a weird life. All right, so look, here's what happens. There's sort of like a curve underneath, on the underside, which you can't see because of the darkness. Let me pull this to the side so I can see what's going on. How long are you gonna be streaming for? As long as I'm having a good time streaming. As long as we got shit to talk about. So we'll see. Oh, Muhammad says slam the beard. I know my Muslim friends love my fucking beard. Check me out, guys. I just trimmed it a little bit. I don't want to make it go too crazy. It's a little bit out of control these days, but hey man, there's no time to look cute. We got shit to do. I'll tell you something that I learned, guys. Listen, guys, a beard is a reflection of your masculinity. It's a reflection of your character. It's kind of like the amount of love you have in your life. Love is earned. I know most people operate under the illusion that you're just entitled to a loving partner or something like that. You're not. You have to earn this shit from God. So you have to first be able to love yourself and be a decent human being, and then God's gonna reward you with the good shit in life. I think Muslim people also believe in something similar. I ain't a Muslim. I'm a Christian. What the hell was I talking about? You gotta earn love. What the fuck was I talking about? How did I go from beards to this? I can't remember. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's like with beards, right? You gotta earn it. It's like correlated with your balls, with your nuts. I mean, my nuts are average size, I think. They're like regular size. I'm talking about the metaphoric nuts. Can you stand up for yourself? Every time you stand up for yourself, your beard gets a little thicker. Your voice gets a little bit deeper. You know what I mean? Can you please make yourself a little bit bigger? You bet I can. I was waiting for someone to say it. Because I love looking at myself too. Look. I brought my comb. Because my hair has been fucking with me earlier too. Look, it's a little messy. So I brought my comb. So I can make sure that I'm cute on stream. I'm so fucking attractive. Because if I make it too big, then it bothers me when I'm modeling. Well, make sure you can see me. Alright, so here's the problem. We need to have this sort of dip. And it's pretty damn deep. So, okay, it's supposed to go about as far down. Fuck me, I can't tell. Fuck it, we're just gonna try to eyeball it a little bit. Let's go a little bit deeper. And then this part, so what's gonna happen here is we're gonna have a sort of sharper edge around here on the outside. And then this is supposed to get to a point where it's kind of wrapped. Okay, so there's a little bit of a flat surface on the inside. Let's try filling this in a little bit more. I don't know what happens on the underside. I'm just gonna try to sort of eyeball it. Let's try something like this. We're gonna extrude it inwards like this. Let's also do this. I'm trying to manually construct this whole thing. Yeah, guys, a beard is a gift. I had a beard when I was like 18, 19. I could grow a beard. It wasn't as full. I didn't like it yet, and it looked messy. But I've recently developed this. I don't know. It kind of feels like, you know, when people go to prison, and then it's like. Here's what I've learned over the years, guys. What I've learned, what's worked really well for me so far. As a man, life is very different than it is for a woman. Because as a woman, you have to be nice and elegant and sweet and gentle and very polite. As a man, you have to be very polite, but your character should not reflect, like your image should not reflect you're a gentle person, because then you look like a punk. You know what I'm talking about? You have to have a little bit of a, if you're a grown man, life is better, is what I'm telling you. You don't have to. You do whatever you want. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but life is better when you have a little bit of an intimidation factor to your image, alright? Life is better. People treat you better. Not out of fear, but just out of respect. And women like it better too. And you feel better about yourself. Because then people just assume, okay, well, this guy can stand up for himself. This guy knows what he's doing. It's much better than being a pretty boy. And the problem is that a lot of people walk around with fear of presenting themselves in a certain way because they don't want people to think that they're prepared to stand up for themselves. They don't want to sort of advertise that. They're afraid that they might accidentally advertise that because they're afraid someone's going to call them out or something. I don't know what it is. Talking out of my ass. I'm not always without a shirt though. But I'm without a shirt, guys. Listen, give me one in the chat. If you got a shirt right now, give me a 0 in the chat if you don't got a shirt right now. Maybe I'm wrong, but I bet you half the people. Who the fuck wears a shirt at home? Here's how I see it. If all of us here were in a room together, if all of us here, instead of being on stream, right? Because you're in your room, I'm in my room. It's the same shit. We're basically just in a room, just hanging out, talking about Blender. When you hang out with your friends, who gives a fuck, man? Half of us are shirtless. The other guy's wearing a suit and a tie because he came off of work. The other guy's in a tank top. He's got paint all over him. That's how it goes. That's my world. And then we have these little things over here. This is where the problems start to appear. These little things over here. These little dips. I think we're gonna have to do this once we get more geometry. 1, 1, 1. So most people wearing a shirt, but if I had a choice, you don't have a choice. It's winter here too. I'm in Warsaw, Poland. It's cold as fuck. Turn on the heater. I think there's a correlation, guys, with people who play video games. They don't look forward to taking their shirts off. Because usually people who play video games, they got titties, or they're skinny and all this. They're pale. They haven't seen sunshine. I can't wait to take my shirt off. I wish it was acceptable to walk around shirtless. In Copenhagen, it actually is in the summer. To walk around the fucking block. I go to the shop shirtless. Because other people doing it too. It's just normal. No one looks at you like you're crazy. That was weird. I miss that. Over here, they're gonna cut your ass out. You're probably gonna get arrested in Poland. I don't want to have this loop cut here yet. This was just to show you guys. Maybe we can do crease. Here's how it goes, guys. This is my sort of way of thinking about this. I'm just trying to roughly define some shapes and prepare some geometry roughly the way it should be. And then I'm gonna come back to it and reiterate. We're gonna start adding more details afterwards. So right now, what I want to do next, once I've sort of roughly created this part over here, and I'm gonna have to make some changes. Once I sort of roughly define this part on the back side of the steering wheel. Later I'm gonna have to add this part. I wanna do that today maybe, but now I want to move on to this side part while we're at it, where I'm gonna create a circular hole for this AC. Maybe we're gonna make AC, because that's just raw hard surface. Aryan, gamers aren't all losers. Yeah, I understand that. We got gamers who are not losers. I understand that. But you see, the thing is that people ask me, you know, they ask me questions on Instagram. This happened the other day. I'll tell you a story. They asked me the other day, somebody asked me about, I don't know, all kinds of shit. I did a Q&A on Instagram. Follow me on Aryan 3D if you want to see my Q&As. If you want to talk to me. And then I answer in ways that, you know, I guess from other people's perspective, I answer in ways which are more sophisticated than what most people are capable of communicating, right? I think we should just extrude this whole thing. So what I'm trying to say is, according to some people who watch my stories, my answers, my way of thinking about the things that I'm discussing is more sophisticated than that of most people, right? Does that make sense? So they asked me, okay, how are you capable of doing this? How do you have such a way of speaking or thinking about the world? And my only answer to that question was, well, okay, because for me, in my free time, I don't play video games, because video games are not going to build your character. They're going to build your character in the video game, sure, okay. But you're not going to get cool fucking stories from video games. You're not going to gain life experience or wisdom out of video games. It doesn't really happen, okay? Video games are not real life. Well, what's the fucking point? I was sitting on the airplane today. And I was looking at, okay, it was me. There was a dude next to me. He was just like a fat, just really fat dude. He looked like, man, I don't know. I really don't like to be rude to people. And I would never say this to this person's face or anything like that. Don't get me wrong. Okay, but this person was, it was obvious that this person took no care about their image whatsoever. They just didn't care. Fat, weird hair, and just nerdy ass look, and just had no clear. You can see on somebody when they just don't got no backbone. It's just like, you know, come on. For me, like, I don't want to be that way. It's really like, I think it's quite, because I think that this person doesn't want to be that way either. Really, but they convince themselves that they do. And it's me over here. I'm fucking lifting all these weights. I'm fighting. I'm trying to dress nice, and I'm trying to take care of my haircut and my beard and all this. I'm trying to look cute. I'm trying to conduct myself in a certain way. I'm trying to take care of my image and present myself in a good way. I really want to make the best of my physical appearance at all times. There's another dude behind me, fucking tall dude, built like an athlete, well groomed and all this shit, dressed all nice. And I'm thinking, so we have this existence, and this guy is sitting over there next to me, the fat guy. Man has free will. He chose to be this way. He decided, you know, when you're grown up, you can decide, am I going to be a fat guy? Am I going to hit the gym? Am I going to be jacked? Am I going to dress like and act like a nerd, or am I going to be the cool guy? Am I going to be smart, or am I going to have life experience? Am I going to travel and meet cool people, or am I going to play video games? You can make this decision. And I'm sitting there, I don't understand why somebody would choose to be this person over here. Like, he clearly chose that. I don't think he's aware. I don't know if he really understands how much better life is when you're not that guy, when you're the other guy. Maybe he's just not even aware. I can't grasp this. It's unimaginable to me. Because I think deep down he knows. I mean, come on. If this guy has a girlfriend and she's talking to me, you know what I'm talking about. And this is the type of shit that happens when you play video games. I just refuse to. I'd rather use my time on building myself. I hit the gym. I'll read something. I'll educate I'll go hang out with my friends, or go talk to somebody, or go network with people. Do something with my fucking life. Why would I play a video game? If I want entertainment, I'll go hang out with my friends. I'll go travel somewhere. What do you need video games for? I really don't understand it. And people get mad at me. We talk about this every time. But you guys do whatever you want to do. Guys, how many of you got a girlfriend? Give me a 1 in the chat if you got a girlfriend. Or at least like a girl that you're banging. How many of you? 1 in the chat is you got a girl. 0 is you don't got a girl. Now this is supposed to be at some sort of weird angle that I can't really see. I'm trying to organize my geometry here a little bit more. Do you recommend Fiverr and Upwork? Yeah, we're just gonna add a new module to the Digitally Enhanced Club about these things. Talk about them more concretely. Because I got some stories for you. Maybe I can talk about them right here, right now. Ja mogu man pričat. O neću imena spominjati, ništa. Okay, let's see, it was 0.11, 0.001, 100, okay. So, it seems that half of you don't got no female company in your life, the other half do. Now, let's talk about this, guys. This is an important subject. Of those of you who do have girls in your life, so I'm only asking the people who have a female in their life. Be honest with me, guys. Don't listen. I don't know you. I'm not. Nobody's fucking guys. This is anonymous. Be honest, guys. Come on. Just tell me the truth. I don't know if this is gonna be possible. Of those of you who do have a female in your life, is your relationship with her the way you would want it to be? Does she treat you the way that you want her to treat you? And I'm talking about everything. If you want me to be more specific, I'm talking about, does she look the way you want her to look? Is she fit? Is she as attractive as you know you want your girl? Nobody wants a fat girl. Alright? Nobody wants a girl with a fucking mustache. Cut the crap. Everybody wants a girl who's fit, hitting the gym. She's cute. She's very sweet and feminine. She's fun to hang out with. The sex is great. Everybody wants a girl so that when you show up somewhere, other people think, wow, look at this guy. It's like a status symbol. Everybody wants this in their life. I chose to be skinny and I regret it. I've been gaining weight and improving myself. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. See that? You see what I'm talking about? Life is better. I know what it's like to be skinny. I was one of you people. I grew up on video games as a teenager. I was a skinny little fucker. Life is terrible, guys. The girl you like, she likes the guy who's like me. The girl who you're crushing on when you're skinny, when you're the gamer nerd, she has a crush on me. And when you're like a teenager, I couldn't understand this. What the fuck's wrong with her? This guy's an asshole. Look at him. And then I figured out, okay, well, you can go to the other side. Life is just better. I'm telling you, try it, guys. It's not that difficult. Hit the fucking gym. Okay, this guy's talking about he's jerking off. He uses his hand. Andrew Tatum blender. Okay. Okay, so nobody's perfectly happy with their dating life. Nobody's really satisfied with their dating life. That's the conclusion I'm trying to... Guess what? Guys, everybody knows what girls want. Everybody knows that. We all know that the girl wants the guy who's got some muscle mass. The guy who's got some charisma. The guy who can talk to her. And kind of in the same way that I'm talking to you now. Listen, guys, here's the difference between being the gamer nerd and being me. And trust me, I would know. I've been both. When you're the gamer nerd, And maybe you're talking to a girl and maybe you get a chance to go out on a date with her. You're thinking, oh, where am I gonna take her? What kind of, you're worried about what the experience is gonna be like and all this. You're trying to plan it. You're trying to see how you're trying to do it the conventional way. You're trying to produce this blueprint. Here's my date. I can take a chick I can take an apple. When you eat an apple, you're cool as fuck. All right. I can be sitting over here with a girl on the sofa. I don't have to go nowhere. I can just eat a fucking apple. Because everybody knows that when you eat an apple, it's like smoking a cigarette. It's fucking cool, alright? It just makes you look cool. And I can be talking to her about exactly what I'm talking to you about right now. Eating an apple, smoking cigarettes. And she fucking loves it. That's how it goes. You can take her to the most expensive restaurant in the world. If you can't entertain a girl with your personality, with your charm, it's not gonna work. Good luck. It's just not gonna happen. And you're not going to develop this type of personality in a fucking video game. They always compare to me to Andrew Tate. Because I talk about, I don't know, women. I don't wear a shirt. As if Andrew Tate invented being shirtless. Okay, we got beef. Sky Ocean called Roland a beta male. Let's see what this is about. What did Roland say? For me personally, my girlfriend is best and most beautiful. I trust her. And she trusts me just as I trust her. But see, I understand why. But Sky Ocean is being a fucking asshole. Because he's trying to take a nice thing and he's trying to punk you for it. But I think what he's trying to say is that what you're saying is kind of implying that you love your girl unconditionally. It doesn't matter if she's fat. For you, she's perfect, right? It doesn't matter if she's, I don't know, whatever. You love her. She's the one for you. And this is why he called you a beta, I think. Because I think what he's implying is that if you're an alpha male, right, that means that you set standards. That means that you have requirements and you have the ability to cut people off if they don't come up to a certain standard. Why don't you hang out with junkies? So, for example, a lot of people, they meet one girl and they know that they can't get no other girl. So they'll just tolerate anything from her. She gets fat, okay, they stay with her. Nobody wants it. Nobody prefers a fat girl over a fit girl. Everybody knows that. Don't fucking lie to me. But she got fat. Oh yeah, but I love her. She's the one. Okay, cool. But there are certain lines which cannot be crossed, and you have to be prepared to leave. Now, if you have no other options, you're not gonna leave. But if you got your shit together and you know that you're capable of just attracting another girl, then you don't tolerate that shit. And then girls don't take advantage of you. Aryan, how do you recommend making money when I have a YouTube channel with 24,000 subs teaching Blender? Just look at what other channels are doing. Having a YouTube channel is a really great way to get clients, a great way to make connections in the industry. You can sell coaching, you can sell books and shit like that. I've been trained to write books, so I know how to write books. I can help you write a book if you want. You can send me an email or reach out to me. I should put my email somewhere. Look, I'll drop it. Jag mår chat mail. Okay, I'll. Okay. You can send me an email over here. I don't know if you can see it. It's aryan@digitalenhanced.club. Send me an email if you want some help writing a book. I can help you. I can coach you through that process because I've been trying to do this professionally and it's worked really well for me. And by the way, guys, if you want to check out my ebook, I put a link in the description. My ebook is all about just pretty much every single modeling tool that I ever use in Blender. I explained everything in there. So for you guys who are new to Blender, who are not familiar with all the tools and all this shit, I recommend you check out the ebook, because what you're gonna find in there is me explaining basically everything, and you're gonna learn about a whole bunch of new features that you didn't even know existed. You're gonna see how they work, how they can be used, and then when you're modeling something, you're gonna remember, oh shit, that tool exists. I can, you know what I'm talking about. That's the difference between a good skilled Blender user and an unskilled Blender user. I remember me. I just didn't know that tools existed. I didn't know you can do things a certain way. Guys, give me a minute. I'm gonna hit the toilet. And I'm gonna finish eating my apple, then we're gonna get back to modeling. Bear with me.
Vem koliko ridova tu bijemo?
Daj je mogu čuti.
Za vrijeme.
Šta, koliko?
Za vrijeme drugog svjetskog rata.
Koliko jabuka je? Kaj?
Koliko...
Koliko jabuka je palo za vrijeme drugog svjetskog
Da.
rata? Nemam, znaš kaj? Sad ću ih pitat bar na streamu. Hoće me pamet da ih pitam barem dobro koliko je bio žrtva u holokaustu i otkud je taj broj se pojavio. I to je to, samo pitam, ništa ne kažem.
Možeš.
Jer će me pamet.
Može. A šta je? Neko reporta i onda YouTube vidi. I onda si mislim, aha, ti si zapravo htio sugerirati.
A jebi ga. Aj ovak će me cancelat za neko sranje. Where are you from? Guess guys, where am I from? How many languages do I know? Like 6. I know 6 languages. Give me the song again. I really like this song. I speak English. I speak Croatian. I speak Serbian, Bosnian, Montenegrin, a little bit of Macedonian, and a little bit of Slovenian. Satisfy Meme says loyal ones love a muscular guy, but the Gen Z love money instead of loyalty. What the fuck? Hype Pill, are you in Israel? I can't remember if it was you or if it was somebody else. I want to know what's going on in Israel. I can't believe this shit. This is crazy. I'm over here eating an apple on camera with no shirt, and there's 110 people watching. What were we gonna talk about? O čem sam išao pričati kad se popišem?
U svjetskom ratu.
Aha. A banat će me jebate. My brother told me to talk about something that happened in the Second World War, but I'm definitely gonna get banned. Alright, I have enough of this apple. This is one of the shitty ones. Ma non è poi ancora con questo. My brother wanted me to talk about World War II. Let me pick a good subject for discussion. We were talking about women. We're gonna get back to women. When somebody comes here and presents a problem, guys, anybody who comes here and presents to me a problem with their relationship or something, we can talk about it. I can break it down. I'm gonna be honest with you, because I can fix all your problems. I guarantee you guys, if you got any problems with women, I'll help you. I'll solve them all for you. But okay, let's talk about the future of 3D jobs. I think he's talking about AI, like modeling and sculpting already done. But, oh, scanning too. Okay, AI. Here's what I always tell people. About fucking AI and all this shit. Oh, we can talk about love. Oh, we can talk about love. That's my guys, listen. I know I probably don't look like it, but I always tell people the most important thing in life is love. And anybody who doesn't understand that is missing something. You didn't put the pieces of the puzzle together yet. And I'm not saying be a loser. You still gotta succeed in every other aspect of life. That's the only way you can find true love. But love is the ultimate purpose of life. Alright? In my view, it's synonymous with God. God is love. That's the same shit. Alright? So we were going to talk about 3D and AI. Here's the problem, guys. Okay, how should we make this? I don't think I should just try to use a circle tool for this. Here's what I'm going to try instead. I'm just going to make a one band first, like this. And then later I can maybe shear everything backwards. AI, so whatever way you slice it, the world is changing. The world is evolving, alright? One day you got cashiers, the next day you don't. One day you got people. Remember back in the day, they had a dude walk around the streets with a pole, and he would go lighting the fucking street lights, because there was like a candle or something. And then in the evening he would come back with a little like a bell shape, and he would have to put out the lights. No, the other way around. In the evening he would light them up, in the morning he would turn them off. Okay. And then at some point they invented this shit called an electric light bulb, alternating current and all this, so you didn't have to do that anymore. Okay? So I'm over here thinking, well, you know what? Fuck the guy and his job. At the end of the day, I'm sorry, go work somewhere else, but we need this street light shit to work properly. We need this electricity thing. You know, we can't, man, come on. We're not gonna be living off of candles for the next 1,000 years. You get the fuck out of here. And then the problem is that everybody agrees with this. I think obviously everybody agrees, but nobody understands that AI is going to take their job, and that's probably a good thing. So the world is changing in ways that computers are going to be able to do what you're trained to do. I don't know, mathematics or chess. What the hell? I don't. You know what I'm talking about? Computers can do shit that traditionally people used to do. But now we can do it in better ways. The problem is that people just see it as they're gonna take our jobs. And so what, you're just gonna be jobless? Are you that much of a fucking loser? You can't find something else to do? Are your skills that worthless? Are you that much of a piece of shit without any initiative or ambition in your life that when you get replaced because of something better, you just give up and now you don't know what to do, you're in a problem? Fuck it. It's like, I'll give you an analogy. It's like, okay, look, obviously it's in your girlfriend's best interest to find the best possible partner she can find. Alright? So if she's with you right now, and you're a gamer, and you got a belly, and you smell, okay, and you have no personality whatsoever, and one day she meets me, of course she's gonna upgrade. You can't blame her, of course. Now, it sucks to be you, but, I mean, good for her, good for me. Now we get better genes walking around the planet at the end of the day. You understand what I'm talking about. So, it's the same shit with jobs. That's how it goes. So what you should be doing is putting yourself in a position where you're the best possible product. You should make yourself irreplaceable. Because if you're irreplaceable, like Aryan, to a girl, she can't meet somebody who's better. Because there is no better, you know what I'm saying? You have to adapt. Okay, New guy comes into town and he's got a better personality. Well, you better get on fucking game. That's how it goes. It's a competition at the end of the day. I know that people get. I know that someone's gonna say Aryan, look at what he's talking about. He's a misogynist. They're gonna blame me for the same shit they blame everybody else. But I'm telling you guys the truth. You asked me, I told you. That's what I think. So you gotta get some initiative in your heart. You gotta grow up some balls and figure out, okay, well, this if something is becoming outdated, either let me find something else or let me figure out a way to use this new technology to do the job differently. Imagine if they invent a crane, or they invent machines which can dig out coal, and now you don't need 300 dudes with pickaxes in the coal mine anymore. Now you just need 5 guys with machines. Now that's a bad thing. Oh, they're taking your jobs. Fuck you. It's not even a discussion. So how about you learn to become the operator for that vehicle? You learn to operate that thing, and then you're not going to have a problem. You're going to be one of the few guys who has an exceptionally valuable skill. Now is your time to gain a competitive advantage, don't you think? Wouldn't you agree? Or if you just see it as you're going to lose your job, well, then you're destined to fail. What I'm trying to tell you guys is learn to use AI as much as you can. Learn how it works. Learn how you can use it to do your job better. If you're working at a company right now, a studio, let's say, a studio, and you're just doing some dumb shit that can be replaced by a computer, well then that's your problem. Your boss doesn't care about giving you a job, he cares about his company prospering. That's what it's all about. I hate to break that. Guys, I don't understand. Do we have adults here that don't realize this? The company doesn't. You're not entitled to a job. You're gonna get a job as long as you're useful. Once you're not useful anymore, they don't need you. What the hell do they need you for? It's like me keeping a fucking car in my bedroom. You understand what I'm telling you? Why would they pay you if they don't get? They're trying to earn as much money as possible by investing as little as possible. If they can replace 10 workers with a machine, of course. If they don't do it, their competitor's gonna do it, and then they're gonna go down under. They're gonna collapse. That's just how the world works. If you don't want to lose your job, be irreplaceable, be better, so they can't replace you. Or learn to control the machine, so that you're gonna come to your boss and tell him, hey boss, I can do what 10 3D artists can do in half the time, because I know how to use AI. Or I don't know if you're a copywriter or whatever the fuck AI is doing these days. Adapt. But people don't want to do that. They just want to be lazy. And you know who's very good at harboring this sort of mentality? People who grew up during communism. And Pure Kid, don't watch the fucking stream. People who grew up in communist times, they don't understand that we live in a world now which is based on merit, and you're not entitled to a job. It's not communism anymore. So you gotta find a way to be useful so that somebody would employ you. Back in the day, it doesn't matter who you are. Here, a job. Just you get a job. It doesn't matter how well you perform. And they find it hard to realize that now you gotta get your shit together. So maybe you're a communist if you have a problem with AI coming in. Now this is supposed to be a nice circle, guys. So let's use a reference like this. Pure Kid. We're gonna use this little circle, and now we can align everything else with that fucking empty. I think maybe we can take this and separate them. So guys, what are you gonna do about it? This is what happens when you're playing video games, because while you're playing video games, I'm over here using AI. While you're playing video games, the guy who works next to you, he's learning to use AI, so that when the time comes, he's gonna replace your ass. You're gonna get fired, and he's gonna replace 10 of you. So you go play video games if you think that's a better use of your time. I'm just letting you know, you want to be ready for this type of shit. Sometimes I think there's something wrong with me. Sometimes I think that maybe I have some sort of mental retard. You know, when somebody tells me I got ADHD, they got ADHD, and they describe to me what it feels like, I'm thinking that's what I got. I feel this is exactly the same shit, but I see it as an amazing thing. I got so much energy. I cannot stop thinking about. To me, it's a blessing. It's a gift. But tell me, maybe I don't know what ADHD even is. Attention, ADHD is ADHD. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Hyperactivity, definitely I got hyperactivity. You can ask anybody who knows me. Attention deficit is just when you got no discipline. So you gotta build some discipline. Look at me, okay? 10 seconds of modeling, 10 seconds of rambling. Works pretty well for me. I think it's a great thing. But then I can go to the doctor and tell him, doctor, I can't concentrate on modeling. Anytime somebody asks me a question, I start talking, give me some pills, put me on that shit. People are just looking for an excuse. Hey, this is not bad. This is not bad. Now we're gonna have to do something about the angle. Why don't you use knife project? I don't know. Oh, we got an Aryan in the chat. Listen, it's the coolest fucking name ever. They think I'm a Nazi because my name is Aryan. Because Aryan race, you know, the whole fucking Hitler thing. So I just named, that's what I named my channel, so Reddit has something to talk about. We got a beautiful name. It's really exotic. So now, I think maybe we gotta bring it a little closer still. Well, we definitely do. Let's get rid of this. Let's join these. Hold on. Check this out, guys. I spoke to the people, the flight attendants today. I mean, spoke. It's not like we had a 2-hour conversation over some beer. But something was going on and I had the chance. I was standing next to him. And when I stand next to somebody like that and we're both facing each other, I can't help but speak. It's weird if you don't speak, you don't say something. So I asked him I heard that when they fly to Ibiza, it's a pain in the ass because people cause all sorts of problems because people start partying on the airplane, people start getting drunk and yelling and all this, and they want to, you know what I'm talking about there, but you know, the Ibiza, they're causing problems on the airplane. So I asked them if this is true, if they have a similar experience. I think they told me they don't fly to Ibiza, but their most difficult flight to handle is I think they said Jeddah. Is my memory cheating me? Jeddah. Am I saying that correctly? Jeddah. Because when people go to Jeddah, they're going because of Mecca. And then they're doing all these rituals, they're all washing in the bathroom and they're lining up and they're praying on the floor and stuff like that, and they're causing all these this is what the flight attendants told me, I don't know, this is what I heard. And that this is problematic for them with their job of being you know, what the fuck you call them, cabin crew and all this. They gotta make sure everything's in line and all this shit. But they got problems when people don't want to listen. I thought that was pretty interesting. How are we gonna do this part? I think this needs to go further backwards. Here's what we're gonna do. My mom liked this song. Guys, how's your relationship with your mother? Maybe we can share the whole thing, but I'm worried about doing that. Let me think about this for a second, because I think we should be able to just rotate it. I think we should be able to do this, and then we gotta do a little bit of correction, because if you look at this part, it's sort of at an angle. At least that's what it seems to be. Let me get some more pictures from Google. McLaren 765 LT. And here, somebody said they'd like to look at me, so I'll make my camera bigger so they can look at me. Here, you look at me, I'll look at my other browser because I need another picture of this shit on the side. Every time you get the best picture, it's always like 100 pixels by 200 pixels. I'll tell you a story, guys, about something that happened to me. I had a... So there was this dude, and he got drunk. This was in somebody's house, and he got fucked up. And when he got drunk, it's like he entered some sort of a trance state, and he took all his clothes off. And he was just like making noises on the floor and shit. Butt ass naked. Completely unclothed. And then I was trying to sleep on the sofa. This was at the after party or something. And then this guy, like, he woke me up in the middle of the night. It's like he lied down next to me, put his arm around me, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck? And he was like, oh shit, I'm sorry. It's like he wasn't controlling himself, and then he just went back to doing whatever it is he was doing. And this was just alcohol induced. Okay, so here it looks kind of flat. Okay, I think I know what it is. Look, I got a nice picture over here. I'll show you. There we go. Now you can see the side. Cancel Aryan. Aryan, can you model your perfect giga phallus? What is that? Phallus. Yotokita. Did you ever went to Diddy party? I don't know nothing about Diddy, guys. When I see this type, when I see something all over the news, I don't want to hear it. I don't give a fuck about Diddy or his party. I don't know. It's got nothing to do with me. I got shit to do. If you got time to read about Diddy, you can't sit here and pretend like you care about Diddy. I don't know shit about Diddy. I don't give a fuck about Diddy. And I recommend you guys don't either. Go to the gym instead. Otherwise, your girlfriend's gonna dump you. I would be willing to bet if you try to statistically analyze men who care about Diddy and the whole news around Diddy and his whole trafficking operation or whatever the hell happened, men who are concerned about this, who went, you know, studying this subject a little bit, they talk about it with their friends, on statistically they get cheated on more than guys who aren't concerned with any of this shit at all. The guys who hit the gym instead, I bet you. Yeah, look, my G-key, ma nemoj onaj spray, nešto puše, onaj. Alo, a jebeš me, ne čuje on mene. Jebote, šta je to? There's a piece of something under my G-key and it's really fucking with me. I'm fucking up everything on my screen. What's going on here? Okay, I think it's gone. Diddy. Who gives a fuck about Diddy? Oh, gdje si, brate? One question since I just tuned in. How do you make sure the proportions match real life dimensions? If you even do that, I don't do that. Because I would have to go to McLaren and tell them, hey McLaren, let me in. They're gonna tell me no. So I just kind of eyeball it. But if you were doing this for real, excuse me, if you were doing this for real, like for McLaren, formally, they would probably send you blueprints and measurements and probably give you access to a car in a salon or something like that if this was for real, right? So this is just kind of like practice. Freestyling, sort of, right? So here's where I fucked up. I made my hole way too high up. What I should have done was forget about the hole for now and just model the entire surface. This whole piece over here. Make sure that is shaped the way it's supposed to be shaped, and then add the hole later on. Do you think going to clubs and parties is a waste of time? I don't think it's, well, it depends on what you're trying to do in life. I don't think it's a waste of time. Living your life is never going to be a waste of time. The question is, do you really have fun in clubs? For me, clubbing was never really... No, it depends on the type of clubbing. There are very different types of clubbing, alright? There's a kind of club where people just go to show off, just to, I don't know, they don't like the music, they don't like the people, they just go to be seen there. So you know what I'm talking about. Typical dumb shit that people do in high school and stuff. It's just like, you know what I'm talking about. Fake ass type of environment. There's that club scene, which for me is just unappealing. I don't have fun in these types of places. If I'm gonna go clubbing, I want to have fun. What I do find to be very fun. Hold on. What I do find to be very fun is the kind of clubbing where people just go for the music and just to hang out, which is usually techno clubs. At least for me, because I like techno music, I like house music and stuff like that. The kind of place where it's just a dungeon. You can see by the way that people act. Nobody's there to show off, nobody's there to fucking be seen or take Instagram stories. They don't even let you take photos with your phone, they put a sticker on it. That's the kind of club that I find to be very fun. And what's a party? Let's talk about that. I've been to degenerate parties. I've been to parties where people go just to get drunk and you can't even speak to anybody. You can't have a conversation with nobody. For me, that's not a party. I learned to party in Romania. I learned to party in a way that when you're partying, the whole point is that you're talking to people, okay? There's drinking, there's music, there's smoking, there's probably weed and all this shit, but the whole point is you're having conversations with interesting people. You're chatting the whole time. That's a party for adults, in my opinion. Anything else is for children. Or at least, you know, children trying to pretend like they're adults. And right now I'm just trying to change the side profile of this so I can get this curve here right. This is a real pain in the ass, this McLaren right. You know what I think we should have done? I still didn't even connect this to this part. Because I don't think it's supposed to be this this angled. Not yet. This is fucking brutal, guys. I'm at the point now where I'm thinking I'll just delete the whole thing and start over. Thinking about starting the whole thing over. And starting from a different point. Because you have this sort of thing right here. And then that's supposed to be projected against the surface in the back, which is a little bit angled. And then it just... I don't think we have to restart the whole thing, but we have to definitely rearrange this geometry here. And get rid of this, by the way. Something like this, and down here we don't have this dip, so forget about it. See how much geometry I have now, and it's giving me real headaches. We don't need this part. And down here okay, we can get rid of all of this. We don't need any of this. You want to try to do this type of shit with as little geometry as possible. And the problem is that this looks completely different from any angle that you look at it. Okay, here's how we're gonna do it. Give me a hexagon. Give me a face, a plane, and we're gonna turn that into hexagon. And then this has a sort of like, this is what this looks like. You gotta put this part back. That's the hole for the fucking steering wheel. Inset, delete faces. When we inset, we're gonna check edge rail. And now we can use this low poly shit to shoot out. I think we can do another little edge here, and then we can dig it back. And that's where you got this little screen. So guys, let me tell you something about the McLaren. This little thing over here that you can see right now, when you start the car in a certain setting, I don't know, maybe it stays like this, you can still see some information, but it kind of comes out and then it rotates and it opens up a screen, right? And that's where you got your whole rev counter and all this shit. And now, let's give me a mirror modifier. Why don't I use a mirror modifier here? Generate mirror. Because now I can extrude this. So guys, parties are fun if you they're not only fun, they're not only are they not a waste of time, they're necessary for you. To go to parties in the way I'm describing a party to you, where you go to talk to people, to genuinely hang out with people and have a good time. And not just pretend like you're having fun while drinking, you know, that's not a party. A party is you just hanging out with friends and having an interesting conversation. The type of shit that we're talking about here. Imagine all of us, 112 of us in a room, we got some fucking beer and we're just chatting. Maybe there's some girls as well, alright? That's a party. And there's music playing. That's it. Because that's how you make friends. That's how you build lifelong friendships. See now, I think we did it a million times better this time. Let's do this. I'm not gonna worry too much about the curve at the top yet, but maybe I can just make sure it's there. It'll be something like this. And then the problem is that it has to start going downwards at this point. It's sort of something like that. And now things can work a little bit better. I think we also have to make this a little more round. Let's just do that. Let's just improvise that. I think maybe if we move this back, it'll help. My G key is still fucking with me, guys. Yeah, we tightened up this corner too much. Let's see what happens like this. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. So what do you think, guys? You ever been to the kind of party that I'm describing? And now, just give me a little bit more. See, this is like, if you look at it from the side, this is just a straight line. If you look at it from the front, it's just a line. You're holding the steering wheel, it's just like sort of V shape. So it's supposed to be, this is supposed to go up or outwards more. And then down here it's nice and curved. But it's not supposed to be that big. It doesn't have to be that large. Maybe tomorrow I wake up and I say, you know what, this is complete nonsense, let's try another way. Who knows? That's how it goes sometimes with life, guys. Don't get upset, that's how it goes. If you can't accept that, you're never gonna win. It's supposed to be a little bit pointier. Okay. How long do you think the stream will be? I don't know. I'll be here all night if I got it. If I'm having a good time, I'll be here until I don't feel like being here anymore. I want to get to a point right now where I can make some details. Some real hard surface detail, because this is currently not hard surface modeling. This is more like organic modeling. And here's the other part that's really confusing here. It's extruded outwards. I don't want to worry about that right now. Let's try and take care of these holes that we have back here. How are we going to make those? These holes right here. To make the holes, I need more geometry. But to make more geometry, I need to apply my subdivision surface modifier, which is going to give me so much geometry that it's going to be impossible to work with this. That's the problem I'm facing right now. What if we do one level? No, if we do one level, it'll be too much. Let's try this, just to get a hexagon. That didn't work. It worked up there. That's interesting. That's why, you fucker. Okay, so the hole is supposed to be aligned with the top of this hole, like this, okay? And this is the part where you gotta be careful. Because now we're changing the density of the geometry. Okay, it's sort of like this. But we cannot do it this way, obviously, because that gives us too much geometry here and then problems. So maybe what we should do is leave the holes for later when we're prepared to apply some subdivision surface. And then use that new geometry to create these little holes. In the meantime, here's something else we gotta do. We gotta take this up and get rid of this. We gotta take this up and listen to some rock music, guys. I don't think smart and busy people have time for dancing in a club, to be honest. That sounds like antisocial behavior, to be honest with you. Would you deny that human beings are programmed to hang out with other people? Because if you deny that, you're wrong. And now this floor thing right here is supposed to be a lot lower. Let's do a knife cut. Because this is supposed to be flat. This part is supposed to stay flat. And we do need more geometry here. Maybe something like this. And it's like a cup, it's like a bowl. It's like a something. It's like, it's supposed to be the shape of the thing above. Let's try to make the thing above, and then maybe that can sort of guide us. So look, this thing right here. The shape is sort of like a little shield. Let me try and find a better picture. I won't find a better picture, but I'll eyeball it. It's like this, alright? On top you have a plane. We need some cuts. We need some more geometry. No. 2 here and 2 here. This one goes backwards. These 3 go backwards. And these come down here. I think we don't need these for now. And then they sort of come down like this. This is a little bit closer. Maybe we push this a little further out, because it's supposed to be a little bit curved. Maybe we can push this out too, so we can add another loop cut. Can you believe it, guys? There's people who hate me. There's people who fucking hate me because of this YouTube shit. I'm just making videos talking and they all Reddit and they get so mad. They hate me. I find it hard to believe that people take this shit so seriously. Dude, it's videos on the internet. It's some dude, you're never gonna meet him. You don't gotta watch him. What are you mad about? So this is sort of what the top part looks like. And then, this is the rough shape. And then in the front, well, of course we're gonna have to add some loop cuts like this to tighten everything up a little bit. And then we're gonna have to extrude it down to give it some thickness. And then we're gonna have to correct everything and all this. Yeah, okay. But for now, this is the very rough shape. Why am I yawning so much? I need some coffee. I'm on 3 hours of sleep, guys. You're gonna see some real schizophrenic behavior from me today. You guys know anybody who's schizophrenic? Because schizophrenic people, unlike people with anxiety, schizophrenic people see shit that ain't there, right? They see stuff that doesn't exist. Guys, somebody asked me if I have a course. This is what's going to happen soon in Digitally Enhanced Club in my Blender school, okay? I'm working on 2 things at the moment. One of them is a section for just high-level product animation, which is just going to teach you how to make a 1-minute advertisement, the type of shit you do on TV. And then we're going to add another section, which is going to be a little bit more serious, which is going to be about the business side, the client acquisition side. And I want to talk about some stories about finding clients and finding work through freelance platforms. Because we just had a situation. This is the type of shit that happens in the Digitally Enhanced Club, guys. Just so you understand what's going on here. The Digitally Enhanced Club is a community. It's a school. We got a Blender course, but it's not just about the Blender course. That's the least interesting part of the whole thing. We got like 150 Blender videos in there. But it's a community. We got over 100 students. And everybody's talking to each other about 3D. Everybody's got different experiences. Everybody lives in different parts of the world. So you get to meet people from all sorts of different backgrounds with different skills and shit like that, with different connections. And what just happened is that my brother and one of the students, one of the former students of the Digitally Enhanced Club, I was speaking to the student, and he asked me, hey, can you do this with me? And I said, no, I don't know this stuff, but my brother is a professional at this. Boom, they got together, and now they can handle the client together for more serious projects. And this is connections. When you got people who, you just know people in the game, in the industry. So one person knows one person, he can't do the job, but maybe he can pass it on to you, or you can't do it, you pass it on to somebody else and take a cut. There's people who talk to a whole lot of clients and a whole lot of people, but they don't work with clients. And then there's people who like to work with clients, but they don't have the connections yet. So those two can work together, all right? And that's one of the main things about the Digitally Enhanced Club that I wanted people to understand. And we also just did a crypto lesson, because I'm trying to teach people about crypto. I don't know if you guys are into crypto. Give me 0 in the chat if you don't know nothing about crypto, if you don't care about crypto. Give me 1 if you do care about crypto, if you're involved in crypto, if you know anything about crypto. the most important thing in life is knowing the right people. Yeah. Mirage understands. You're not gonna get anywhere if you don't know people. And that's why I made the digitally enhanced club. So that you can know people in the game. Alright, Sky Ocean, we get it. Čekaj, Josip Lončar. Jel to Josip Lončar kog ja znam ili to je neki drugi Josip Lončar? You guys been arguing about playing video games. Sky Ocean said so. What is not? Oh, listen, this is good. How is parties different from video games? So what he's talking about is I usually come on here and I say, guys, don't play video games, because if you're playing video games, your girl's gonna cheat on you with a dude like me. That's what I tell people. Because while you're playing video games, I'm lifting weights. I'm hanging out with people. I'm living a fun life while you're playing video games just by yourself. Okay? I'm over here eating Snickers, talking to a girl, entertaining her. Well, you're just playing video games like a child. That's what I always tell people when they get super mad. And now they're telling me, Aryan, but you going to parties. Don't you understand that when you're at a party, you're living real life? You're hanging out with real people. You're in the real world. When you're in a video game, you're sitting at a computer. You're in your own. It's like you're being controlled by this little computer. You're not even. It's like you're completely detached from reality. Who the fuck wants to live that kind of life? When you go to parties, you meet new friends, and then you're cool. And then, because you're cool, your girl doesn't cheat on you. Aryan, what do you think about immigrants? That's a good one. Yeah, James C. Watching television is the same shit as video games. What do I think about immigrants? Well, Europe ruined itself by letting in not necessarily immigrants, but just fucking savages and dirty ass people from dirty ass countries. That's the problem with immigrants in Europe. It's completely out of control. We got countries like Germany where, you know what it is? Out of the fear of being accused of reinitiating the Holocaust, German people, for example, will often refuse to even acknowledge the issue. I don't know if they really believe that there's no problem, or if they know that there's a problem and they don't want to admit it because they don't want to be heard saying it, out of fear of being accused of being a Nazi and trying to reinitiate another Holocaust or something like that. But there is a big fucking problem in Europe. And I think anybody who doesn't acknowledge this is out of their mind. You need to look outside. You're busy playing video games. Maybe you don't see what's going on. But it's going on. It's going down. They're telling you that you can't say anything. And if you're a pussy, you're going to be afraid of that because you're going to see people like me who say it. And they get backlash. Oh, you're racist. You're Nazi and all this. But I'm saying the truth. I'm telling you what it is. But you don't want to say it if you're scared. But anybody who's an adult, they understand that there's a big fucking problem with immigration in Europe. And Europe is pretty much done. Because of this, NATO is on the verge of collapse. The European Union is performing terribly. And when these things go down, what's going to happen is Europe is going to be left over with individual countries. The only reason they're not fighting each other is because they're in NATO. If they were individual countries, now everybody's arming up again. Now everybody's scared about each other one more time. And that's how you get a world war. And then on top of that, we got all these internal problems, all these savages coming from all these fucked up countries, and they're not part of our society. And now you have, let's say, I don't know, Germans living together with people from, I don't know, Mauritania. These people can't live together. They're totally different people. There's bound to be conflict and internal problems of all sorts. They can't get along because they're totally different. So Europe is on a terrible fucking path. One of those reasons is immigration. But now, when you got a country like United States of America, which is built on immigration, there's no such thing as an American. It's just people from all over the world. They discovered this new territory and they moved there. Or Dubai, which is almost entirely built for immigrants. That's a different story, because now we're talking about people who just go somewhere to live a good life and to contribute to a different society. I'm living in a country where I'm not a native, so I'm an immigrant, right? So it depends. Are you talking about that, or are you talking about what's going on at the southern border of the United States of America, where they're just letting in countless people? Nobody knows what the hell's going on. Nobody knows where they're coming from. I think they got like 3 million people in a year just coming in. And then they let them vote. They don't check ID. Guys, I can't believe this. What's wrong with America? Are you guys fucking crazy? You go to California to vote, they don't want to take your ID. I thought this was got to be fake news, but I think it's true. So I can go to America. I don't got nothing to do with America. I don't got no passport, no born. I have no real. I can go there. I can vote. And now they're letting in millions of migrants. That's fucking crazy to me. What are your thoughts on LGBT? Anybody who's a man and thinks they're a woman is mentally ill. It's just delusional. I'm sorry to say it that way, but that's the way it is. You're delusional. If you don't, if you have a penis, and you tell me that you're a female, you're delusional, and you have some serious problems to resolve, and you don't qualify to have a serious discussion. I don't participate in those sorts of. I don't engage with those people. I don't associate myself with people who are mentally ill. I mean, it's one thing if you want help, but if you want to be taken seriously in a debate when you're clearly delusional, then I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry, that's the way it is. There's something wrong with you. And Americans, they go crazy when you say this. It's a sin. It's the biggest evil. You're, oh my God, how can you dare say this? It's like if somebody says this, it's a big deal. Like, wow, this person's courageous. What the fuck are you talking about? When I say the Andrew Tate blender, why? Because I said that a human being with a penis is a male. All right. All right. So here's what I wanted to do. Now we sort of aligned this. No, we didn't align it yet. We still got some work to do here. I wanted to align this with this new shape that I've created here. At least a little bit. At least a little bit. And that way, I'll be able to fit this in there. Hold on. A little more. It has to be bigger, I think. What do you guys think about racism? Racism is a big deal in America. Racism. Racism. You know, I had a professor in high school. And I went to high school in Hungary, just to be clear. Hungary, there's no black people in Hungary. Hungarians are white as fuck. Hungarian people never seen a black person. I'm exaggerating, but it's just there's no ethnic mixing. There's no black people there. There's gypsies, but there's really no black people. And this one time, we got an English teacher who was black. He was an American. And he was a great guy. He was a real intellectual. This guy was nobody dared to fuck with him because he asserted his authority real well. Right off the bat, he was a really intelligent person, and he really knew how to be. He was a good teacher. And then one day he started telling us about. He started teaching us about black culture, and now we're 18 years old. 18, maybe 19 years old. And now he's teaching us about some black culture, which I think is not an issue. He told us all about Jim Crow. We never heard about Jim Crow before. And then he starts talking to us about, I'll never forget this shit. He starts talking to us about how we as white people, because the class is white, everybody's usually mostly Hungarian, but it's people like me, I'm Croatian, I'm white. And then he starts talking to us about how we as white people have to understand and acknowledge that we have white privilege. We have to recognize this because it's a real issue. Because he told us that black people in America they're taught from a young age that, you know, at some point it's like they gotta give their kids, black parents gotta give their kids the talk, and they gotta let them know that, you know, these white people, they're different from us. So you just understand that, you know, this is gonna, just be aware of what. And he starts telling us about how we white people gotta be aware that black people go through these things, and that we white people got privilege, so we have to sort of, we have to be a little bit more careful with what we're talking about, how we're behaving ourselves. And I remember listening to this, and we're just looking at each other like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Are you serious? This is like, what planet are we living on? This is not. There's no what racism? What are you talking about? We don't even see color in this part of the world. It's okay, yeah. There's a black dude, yeah. Okay, everybody notices because it's uncommon. But the idea that somebody here is gonna treat a black person any differently is just foolish. It's just, I mean, in my world, that's how it is. We treat people based on the contents of their character in this part of the world. Maybe in America it's different. And we just thought, like, man, why is this fucking guy talking to us about white privilege? We don't have no black people in this society. It's like, what? It felt like it was creating a sort of divide, which was totally unnecessary. And it was, this was the kind of thing that says certain things are racist when I don't think they're racist at all. Yeah, America's got a whole lot of fucking problems. I don't know how I started talking about a black teacher. We went genders, racism, and all this. This is how it goes, guys. I'm just trying to get you guys pissed off so you chat more. I'm trying to say something that's gonna get Reddit pissed off, so they write about me. I hope you do, guys. Does anybody know? Is anybody writing about me on Reddit these days? Anybody doing a hit piece or something? Because I feel like it's coming. It's only a matter of time. They're gonna come from me. Now we're gonna subdivide the hell out of this so we have nicely distributed geometry. See how beautiful that looks? What up, Mr. Aryan? I'm just doing my thing, talking about black people and LGBT and alcohol and women. That's what I do. And I'm talking about how if you play video games, your girl's gonna cheat on you. It's the same shit every stream, guys. You already know how it goes. Because every stream they ask me the same questions. Maybe it's just that I answer the same questions. Racism is pattern recognition. You know what I'll tell you guys? This is gonna get me banned, for sure. Maybe it's this not this in particular, but I'm gonna get in trouble for saying this, alright? I live in Croatia. I spent a lot of time in Romania. I lived in Serbia for a couple of years. And when you're moving around these countries, there's a lot of gypsies. And I lived in Hungary for, I don't want to say many years, but for quite a few years. And there's a lot of gypsies there, and guys, let me just put it like this. Anybody who I know, literally anybody that I've ever met in my life, I've never met somebody who disagrees with the following statement. When there are gypsy people nearby, everybody gets nervous. Everybody gets nervous. Because you're expecting problems. Call me a racist. That's just how it is. I've met some gypsies in Romania, which are a little bit different because they're a little bit more... They're not like the thug type of people who cause problems and who rob and steal. They're just like, you know, working people and stuff like that. At least that's what I've seen. They're wearing their traditional clothing and all this stuff. And I thought they were decent people, you know, owning a gas station or something. I had a conversation with a kid in Romania and he just spoke Serbian. In Oradea. There's no Serbians. What the fuck? How does he speak Serbian? But in general, I've never met nobody who disagrees with the statement in these parts of the world here. Who disagrees with the idea that gypsies cause problems. Now, if you say this in the Netherlands, or if you say this in Denmark, now you're a racist, now you're a bigot, and now it's prejudice. If you say this to ChatGPT, he's gonna tell you you're wrong. ChatGPT is gonna say it's important to not generalize. It's important to not judge people. I'm not trying to judge nobody. I'm not Jesus. I'm not God. I'm not judging nobody. All I'm saying is that in my experience, when there's gypsies around, you better be nervous, because you can expect some problems. That's how it is in my experience. So if that makes me a racist, then so be it. But anytime I see them, I'm still gonna be nervous. And that's not to disrespect any gypsies. If there are any gypsies watching me, you guys know I love everybody. And I think any gypsy who watches this will also agree with this, probably. I had this one time, I'll tell you a story about a gypsy encounter that I've had in Croatia once. I was out with my friends meeting at the city center in Zagreb. And these gypsies, and we're just like at the square just hanging out. And these 2 or 3 gypsy dudes, they're like teens or something. They just come in. They just show up around you. Like 2 of them just come up to you, and like, give me money, you know, with some English, like broken English. I don't know why. We're in Croatia. Give me money, and always like, come on, give me some cash and all this shit. No excuse me, no hello, please, can you spare some change? I'm going through hard times. Sorry to bother. None of that. Give me money, and it's like they're coming up to you like it's almost like they're threatening you. And anytime I've been begged, I've had gypsies asking for money, it was the same shit. It was a very, very unpleasant way to beg for money. Now, if somebody asks me nicely, hello, excuse me, sir, do you have some change? I'm struggling, whatever. If somebody asks me nicely, I'll probably give them. I don't carry cash around, but I'll probably give them. At least I'll consider it. But this is just no way to act. It's just completely unacceptable, in my opinion. And now they're telling me I'm gonna get stabbed for saying that. Probably. Who the fuck knows? That's why you always gotta be ready. You always gotta be ready to face the consequences of what you're saying, to face the consequences of your actions. This is why when you see somebody who doesn't know how to be polite, somebody who's rude, who's provocative, just understand the reason this person is behaving this way is because they've never been confronted properly. They've not had the pleasure of being raised by civilized people, so they're actually a victim of reality. They're living a very terrible life. So you can offer them a little bit of sympathy. Never allow yourself to be moved off center by somebody who doesn't know how to act. Never allow yourself to start arguing with some dickhead on the street. Because if you allow that, you're basically like a child. You are effectively a child. If you yell at people and argue with people and shit like that, you're a child. You're not an adult. You got some work to do. Drop the video games. If you feel the need to argue with people on the internet, you got some work to do. Drop the video games. Hit the gym. Go hang out with adults. Go read some books. Where's your YouTube shield? It's over there on the other wall. I don't give a shit about that YouTube shield. It's a piece of shit build quality anyway. Aryan, I just wanted to say thank you. Like, for real, videos are helping me a lot. I'm planning to make a website for my portfolio. Guys, check this out. I'll show you something. I'll show you an example of a fucking excellent portfolio on Instagram. Excellent 3D portfolio. This is one of our students from the Digitally Enhanced Club. Right here. And I'll put his Instagram in the chat. I don't know if it'll get busted. How do I close this? Whatever. Look. This is one of the members of the Digitally Enhanced Club. What he did was he followed the section. This is what happens when you follow the course in the Digitally Enhanced Club for constructing your portfolio. All right. He's already up to 2,500 followers. He's got excellent products. When he first came into the club, he had 3 artworks like this, and he didn't know which direction to move in. And now look, everything is coming together. It's starting to become complete. Now imagine when he continues a little bit more. This is a very pleasant portfolio, very nice portfolio to look at. Okay, and he's got followers. Let's see if he's doing reels. He's doing reels just like we teach inside the Digitally Enhanced Club, to post reels so that you can attract new people, so that you can bring them to your profile. And this is how you get connections. This is how you get people to find out about you. People who are also interested in this subject, or who are working in the industry or whatever. And they're gonna stumble upon you because of your videos. And that's why they're gonna follow you, they're gonna start sending you messages, and this is how you can start talking to people and networking, and this is what ultimately leads to clients. So go check out Rendered by Yash, go follow him, and you can see his progress, right? So if you check him out now, usually what happens with members like this is they keep posting reels, and now you'll come back a week later and you'll just see 6,000 followers. Then you'll come back 10 days later, you'll see 11,000 followers. That's how it goes. So if you want to learn how to do that, then join the Digitally Enhanced Club. There's a link in the description, and we're also doing a special discount at the moment, right? And on top, you can also get a discount if you pay in crypto, guys, just to let you know. So go check it out on School. There's a link in the description. If you want to get your shit together, if you really want to become a pro, this is how you got to do it. All right, so go follow Yash. I'm also going to post more about him on Instagram. I'm going to make an example of this because this is a great fucking example. And we have lots of members like this. We have lots of members. We have beautiful portfolios. Here's another one of the members from the Digitally Enhanced Club. Look at it. Beautiful stuff. I can pull out like 10 more, guys. If you want, I'll keep pulling people up. If you want to see some portfolios. How are we gonna do this? This piece is tricky, because here's what I want to do. I want to bevel this to get the shape down, but I don't want to destroy it. I don't want to make it so that you can't undo it. So we're gonna select the parts that I want to bevel. Mean bevel weight 1. Now give me a bevel modifier, and the limit method is gonna be weight, and that's gonna be before the subdivision. No, after the subdivision surface modifier, and we're gonna reduce the amount. More. It's crazy. Yeah, it's gonna be before. Okay. Object shade smooth. Maybe give me a little bit more. Give me a 3. It's something like this, and then we have this other part in the front. And you know what else? I just noticed this. There's like a little step down here. So you have to take this. You have to extrude it down. And then it's like this part goes a little bit further out. Maybe even this part. Like this, and we have to take this edge and slide it. And now, of course, we gotta sharpen that too. Something sort of like this. And this gives us a little lip. Check this out, guys. Where's my references? I'm talking about this piece down here. And then on top of that, you have this carbon fiber shit which got the little screen on it, where you can see the gear you're in and whatever. Aryan Akabelets, that's right. You know what my last name means in Croatian? It means white man. Look, guys, I have the best fucking name. This is why Reddit loves me. Wait until they find out about this type of shit about me. I'm not Dutch. Guys, I'll be back. I'm going bathroom. And then we're gonna finish this piece right here. We're gonna make the carbon fiber shit. And the screen and all this, alright? Where were we? No, guys, I live in Poland. In Poland, there is no racism. In Poland, they come knocking on your door if you're not racist. If you're not racist, you're not gonna fit in. That's how it goes in Poland. Here's what I'm gonna do. I need to make this part a little bit curved downwards. And that's something we should have done earlier. But you know what? Most of this geometry we don't need. Have you guys ever tried smoking weed and 3D modeling? I can't say that, right? Because YouTube's gonna ban me. Because I'm over here encouraging and promoting drug use and all this. No, I'm not suggesting do it, just to be clear. I'm asking you if you've ever done it before. Because alcohol in 3D modeling doesn't work. I can promise you that. I've never tried LSD in 3D modeling. I've done a whole lot of LSD in my life, but I've never tried. It never occurred to me that maybe it'd be interesting to open up Blender in the middle of an acid trip. Maybe I should try that sometime. Okay, so now it's sort of curved. Now we can do two more. And now we're gonna relax them. Again. Alright. So now we can take this geometry. Fuck. And we're gonna use that to make the little carbon fiber thing. James the Spies is smoking weed right now. I used to smoke a whole lot of weed. And then I realized this is not the life I want to live. I want to live a life of discipline. A life of discipline and progress. And for me, weed and discipline don't go together. And I've never seen it go together. I'm aware that, well, there are apparently people who are able to function at a high level and perform while being stoners, but I've never seen that in my life. I've never seen that before. I don't know if this is gonna ruin everything, but let's try. So when I say high functioning, I'm not talking about you're going to work stoned. I'm talking about from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, you're working on yourself. You're being productive. You're training. You're building your brand. You're building your business. You're talking to people. You're networking. You're being social. You're going out. You're taking care of yourself. You're doing everything you're supposed to be doing instead of indulging in entertainment. What I've seen in my experience so far, and I've been around a lot of drug users, guys, you better believe it. I wouldn't describe myself as a street dog, but I've certainly seen the streets. And in my experience, anybody who smokes weed is a lazy fucker. No offense, James. That was my experience. When I was smoking weed, I was a lazy fucker. And I realized, well, I want certain things out of this life. I'm not gonna get them if I'm gonna be smoking weed. But see, alcohol is different. Interestingly enough, and this is where I'm gonna get somebody come in and call me a hypocrite. Alcohol is very different from me. And I think one of the reasons for that is that I don't feel very social when I'm under the influence of marijuana. I don't have this ability to, I don't have this energy, this confidence, this charisma that I want to have. I'm not able to do, you know, I feel too lazy and too just, you know, it doesn't allow me to exercise my personality the way I would like to. However, alcohol amplifies the whole experience. So if you're out and you're meeting people somewhere, try doing that. Try going to school one day under the influence of alcohol. Try going to work under the influence of alcohol. Don't do it if you're a fucking forklift driver. Please understand. If you're a police officer, you shouldn't be drinking on the job. But if you're going to uni, and it's the kind of uni where there's a lot of girls, try going there under the influence of alcohol. I'm not saying get shit-faced, you can't speak, you're all sweating. Don't do that. Drink a beer or two. Maybe pull up to class with a milk carton. This is what I used to do. I got a milk carton because I would always be drinking milk in class. Extra calories. Why not? So everybody knew me. I'm always drinking a milk carton. Whatever. There's Aryan with a milk carton. Except I swap out the milk one day with some beer. Try that. All of a sudden you're participating in class. All of a sudden you're talking to people. I mean, you should be able to do this without alcohol. Understand that. But it amplifies the experience. It makes you better. And that can work to your benefit. Just don't become a fucking alcoholic. And it's this type of shit is why I don't associate with people who just automatically disqualify anybody who uses any sort of substance. I think to see the world that way is ignorant. It's one thing if you don't want to hang out with people who indulge endlessly in pleasures. I also don't like hanging out with those kind of people. But using substances to amplify life the same way that you use coffee to make yourself more productive, there ain't nothing necessarily wrong with that. It can expand your. It can make your life. It can add flavor to your life if used correctly. It can make you more intellectually sophisticated. I don't know what I'm trying to do here. I'm looking at my reference. And I'm trying to figure out what I'm looking at. I think maybe I need to take this in apart. Because there are people, you know, if you tell them you smoked weed, or if you tell them that you did cocaine, or you tried, I don't know, LSD, all of a sudden, oh my god. Oh my god, really? You're a degenerate, you're a junkie, your life is ruined. I don't like those kind of people. Shakin says I love you. Well, I love you too, Shakin. I don't have an emotional connection towards you because I don't even know who you are. You might be a bot for all I know. However, when you meet somebody new, the default energy you should offer them is love. If you can't do that, you're doing something wrong. If by default when you meet somebody you're on the defensive, you're in a competitive state, in a negative way, you're doing something wrong. You should be trying to find people in your life and form nice relationships with them. So whenever you meet somebody new, just try offering them love. And you're going to notice that the right kind of people, they're going to recognize that. I'm going to recognize that when I meet somebody and they shake my hand, and when they talk to me, I can see that this is a good person. They're really happy to meet somebody new. I know that. I can feel that. And I want to make sure that I give the same type of energy to people when I meet them. So that's what I mean when I say I love you too. And then Reddit hates me. How fucking crazy is that? What did I ever do to anybody? Wait a minute. This is vertex data. That's where the problem is. Okay. Do you agree with me? Try to love me, Aryan. Sky Ocean. Okay, Sky Ocean. Tell me. Listen, let me ask you a question. Or it's not gonna be a question. I'm gonna show you how you can offer love to somebody. Sky Ocean. Tell me, is there anything that you're struggling with right now in your life? Is there anything that's bothering you? Do you have any problems in life? No Gorka Perez, ain't no gaming channel over here. We don't participate in video games. Video games are for children. And I'm an adult, so I don't play video games. Sky Ocean, I'll show you love if you reveal to me one of your personal problems, and I'm gonna show you how you can fix them. Maybe I'm gonna bully you a little bit, but the reason I'm gonna bully you is because that's going to make you recognize that you fucked up, and then you're going to change. The people who tell you, no, it's okay if you're a fat piece of shit, oh, it's okay if you don't feel like going to the gym, they don't love you. They don't respect you. They don't even respect themselves. If you love somebody, you're gonna correct them, because that's positive feedback from somebody. That's gonna make your life better. It's not gonna make your life better if I tell you it's okay to be a fat piece of shit and it's okay to have diabetes. It's not okay. And when you're around me, we're hitting the gym. Otherwise, why are you around me? Because I'm hitting the gym. And as a result, your life is gonna be better and more positive, and you're gonna attract more positive people into your life. Your girlfriend left you. Okay. No parents. What happened to mom and dad? Your girlfriend left you. Let me guess. Your girlfriend left you. And by the way, let me just tell you something, alright? Here's something that everybody else is not going to tell you. Your girlfriend left you because you were not good enough. And usually girls don't leave men until they found an alternative. So most likely the situation is such that she got tired of you, and in the meantime she ran into somebody else. She ran into an Aryan, and she started talking to this other guy, and she saw that this can go somewhere, so fuck you. She forgot about you because she found something better. You don't know what. Maybe it was the money, maybe he looked better, maybe he was more charming, maybe he had a cooler social life, maybe everything. Maybe he was fucking her better. Who knows what it is, alright? But that's the reality. And this, I'm telling you this because I love you. Because I'm offering you love. What I'm telling you right now is, this is something that you have to acknowledge and keep in mind if you want to prevent this situation from happening to you again. Somebody else is gonna tell you, fuck that bitch, let's go play video games. They don't love you, they don't care about you. I'm telling you this because this is genuinely going to improve your life if you take my advice. And then you're going to be happy. And your life is going to be filled with love because you're going to attract higher quality people because you're going to be a higher quality person. You understand what I'm telling you? But Reddit's going to say, no, Aryan, you're a negative asshole, you're just a bully. Alright, then I'm a bully. She was on Tinder, but now is fat. Alright, well then you win. So that's not a problem. Pozdrav, brate, u Bosni. To je to, bio sam u Bosni, odlični. Bosanci su jedni najbolji ljudi na svijetu. Bosnian people are some of the coolest people on earth. I take that shit to the grave with me. Alright guys, this looks terrible at the moment. Let's try using 2 segments. My bevel. And I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna delete the intersection because that's not gonna work. So what do you think, Sky Ocean? Do you feel loved by what I told you, or do you regret bringing up the issue? Do you feel like what I told you was something that somebody had to tell you, or do you just feel like I'm being an asshole and I'm being inconsiderate? And I don't mean Sky Ocean necessarily, I'm talking about anybody who's in a similar situation. I'm inviting you right now. I'm giving you what made my life filled with love. This filled my life with love. Thinking this way. And if you do the same, your life is going to be filled with love. I guarantee you that. Maybe we can just use some geometry from this part. Maybe we can just duplicate it and then use that instead. Because I have to sort of make a mask for this thing. And it's also supposed to go up here. This is such a common issue. This is the difference between me and you guys. Thank you, Belmo. Belomo, thank you, my friend. You're not taking me seriously. So you don't think my advice would work. You don't think that what I'm telling you is the truth. I think the reason you're not taking me seriously is because you don't actually have a problem with a girl. It's just some fat bitch that's on Tinder now, whatever. I don't think you give a shit about that. But if you had a real love problem with a girl who doesn't give a shit about you and you really want her, that's exactly the advice I would give you, and if you applied it, it would make your life a million times better. And it's difficult for people to accept this because it puts responsibility on them. Sky Ocean doesn't have a problem with girls. Sky Ocean's a pimp. So guys, just understand, if you're in a relationship right now, I can't tell you how many times I've seen this. A guy and a girl in a relationship, and the guy, and he's all like, yeah, I like to play video games, why should I be ashamed of that? His girl comes over and he's playing video games. I can't wrap my head around this. He's yelling at the computer and all this. I know a million guys like this. It's really unbelievable to me. And of course, the girl gets tired of this shit because of course, the girl wants something more fun than that. You know what's more fun than that? Going to the beach, going to vacations, going to parties together, meeting new people together. She wants to see you exercise your social skills somewhere. She wants to see you talking to other men. She wants to see how other men respect you and listen to you. She wants to see you talking to other girls. Not in a way like you're cheating on her, but she wants to see how fun you are among other people. She loves that. But you're playing video games. What are you talking about? Okay. we need to push this a little further. Look. This is a real pain in the ass. A little further down like this. And by the way, give me a mirror modifier here. Someone's asked me why am I using tries, because it's not a problem here. Sometimes it's the only way to get a certain shape. Okay, it'll be something like this. We just have to inflate this a little bit. Generate bevel. Okay. Been watching your channel for a while. Your perspective about the world is that good. That's amazing. Thank you. How do you know which modifier goes up in the stack and which one below? The one that's on top of the stack happens first. I'll show you what happens here, okay? First, let's say first I want to mirror this. Okay? First I want to make the mirror. Then on top of the mirror, onto the raw mesh, I want to add some bevels. So that when I have the bevels, now I can add the subdivision surface modifier. And now that subdivision surface modifier is going to be contained by those bevels which already exist as a result of the modifier. If I place the subdivision surface modifier, let's say I don't have this bevel, I place subdivision surface before bevel, then, or before mirror, then first we subdivide it, so notice how it gets curved before the mirror, and then you add the mirror, so now it's the subdivided thing that gets mirrored. And now you got this thing going on right here. That's how you think about it. So just think about what the modifier is gonna do and how this is gonna affect your geometry, and is that gonna allow you to accomplish what you want to accomplish. So in this case, it'll be mirror or bevel. It doesn't matter because they don't affect each other. And afterwards, you want to add the subdivision surface modifier. And now we gotta make the little screen. And to make the little screen, I think we first need to take this, slide it forwards a little further, and also slide it up a little bit. And then soon we're going to add some more. Let's duplicate this because I want to apply the subdivision surface modifier, but I want to have a duplicate so if I fuck it up, I can go back. So apply mirror. Let's apply bevel. Uh-oh. That's not good. Yeah, because I beveled my vertices, didn't I? Hold on. How the fuck did this happen? This wasn't even beveled. This wasn't even marked for beveling. Oh, because I'm beveling by angle, that's why. Okay. So now we have this. And now we can apply subdivision surface. So we have some more geometry, which is very messy right now. However, it allows us to create the shape. It maybe allows us to create the shape that we want to create here. Which looks something like this. And I want to bring back my mirror modifier. Shouldn't have gotten rid of it. It'll be something like this. And what I'll do first is I'll make all of these equally long. All of these, so select loops, rings, loop tools, space. So in every vertical edge loop, every edge has the same length. And now I'm going to insert this with no boundary. And now, I think I want to have a triangle here. Like this. And then, I think we have to continue, we have to push this a little bit further out. Just to make this part a better curve. And the same thing we're going to do down here. Give me flat shading. Look. I'm trying to create this part right now. Give me a little more. I'm not trying to make it literally the same thing. I'm just trying to make something that looks like that. Because as you know, guys, I'm not doing this for McLaren. I'm doing this for the stream, with the content, for portfolio, whatever. So we can do whatever we want. I would like to ask you, I'm in my 20s. Never had a GF. Friends are saying I should make one. And I really tend to improve my value. Then I should search for a GF. So what are you asking me? Are you asking me how you should get a girlfriend? Because what your friends are telling you sounds about right. Let me try to put it in perspective for you. Imagine, okay, Aryan is a very sporty guy. He's a sporty guy. He travels a lot. Yeah, he goes out with a lot of cool friends. He's very fit and he's very extroverted. What kind of girl is Aryan most likely to attract? The same type of girl, okay? Now, if Aryan was fat, video game nerd, playing video games all day, watching TV shows, smoking weed, no personality, and just scared to leave the house, never gets invited to party, what kind of girlfriend am I gonna find? Probably the same type of girlfriend. The same as if my personality is largely based around fitness, self-improvement, being intellectually sophisticated, I'm going to attract similar kind of people because I'm interested in talking to people about those subjects. I'm not interested in talking to you about video games. I don't give a fuck about weed or any of this shit. So those people, I have nothing to talk to them about. I'm talking to people who are doing fitness, people who are running businesses, people who are traveling the world. That's the people that I hang out with. People who are going somewhere with their life. So you have to think about what kind of girl you want. Okay, is she going to be pretty? Well, guess what? If she's pretty, then I want her too. So if you hit on her and I hit on her, who's more likely to get the number? That's how you got to see the world. So put yourself in a position where you're actually worthy of this girl, where you're actually worth something. Build yourself until you're attractive enough to deserve this shit. And then you can start worrying about, because if you're fat and you got no personality, you go hit on her, what's going to happen? There's no pickup line. If you got titties, there's no pickup line that's going to save you. So you got to get yourself in shape first. You got to get your life in order, and you're going to know when you're ready because you're going to feel it. Your confidence is going to start increasing. You're going to feel it in yourself. Don't be delusional, of course. You have to be around people who are like who you want to be. And then you're slowly going to become more like them. And if they tell you, hey, you got fat, they're going to fuck with you for it. And then they're going to have you lose some weight. If you're around me, you're going to be training. If you're very close to me, you're going to be training. Otherwise, we're not friends. So if you want to be friends with me, you're going to train. So if you're friends with guys like me, you're going to be like guys like me. If you're friends with guys who have high quality females in their life, you're going to have high quality females in your life. Does someone count how many times he uses the word sophisticated? He must be so smart. That's right. That's right. I feel like the lip at the bottom should be more flat. So let's try this. If you're not sophisticated, you ain't shit. Because most people are not sophisticated. I don't know how else to put it for you. If you're not sophisticated, then the only other alternative is you're boring. There's no depth to your character. There's nothing unique about you. Your personality was not carefully constructed. It doesn't consist of any details, of any interesting attributes. It doesn't have anything specific. You play video games. So when I say sophisticated, I'm talking about your character is carefully constructed and designed, and it's noticeable. You're capable of formulating your own thoughts. You're capable of conducting yourself in an original way. You're capable of expressing yourself in an original way. And when you develop the ability to do that, you're also going to become smart. Aryan, how do I get my crush? I love how this became a dating show. I should start a fucking dating channel. How do I get my crush? Should I show her my Blender project? Yeah. And can I say you're my dad? No, don't say that. Don't make sure she doesn't know I exist. Because if she does, she's gonna forget about you. Don't show her your Blender projects. Make sure she doesn't find out you play video games, if you do play video games. Or, why is Aryan ignoring my questions about depression and suicide? What question about depression and suicide? Sky Ocean, you were bullying me, Sky Ocean. Why would I want to help you now? Didn't think someone can be more manly than Aryan. Of course not. What do you think about depression? Okay, I see your question, Sky Ocean, you little fucker. Man has free will. To be depressed is a decision. To be anxious is a decision. To be suicidal is a decision. You decided to allow certain demons into your life which have grown so far out of control, so difficult to control and manage, that they convince you that the only way out is to commit suicide. So it just shows, at the end of the day, people are responsible for their own actions, and I don't think people who commit suicide deserve sympathy. I think they've made a decision. They could have done something, but they chose not to. Maybe there are some exceptions, and someone's gonna figure out a way to call me an asshole for saying this. I already know that. I'm aware of the consequences of what I'm saying. But I don't know what's an honorable way to commit suicide. What's a way to commit suicide that isn't completely dishonorable? I'm talking about committing suicide. I'm not talking about you go save a child from a burning car and you die in the process. That's honorable. I'm talking about, I'm depressed, I'm gonna blow my brains out. And Basin Bit says I lost him with my take on suicide, so I'm sure he has a better way to look at it. Damn. So what do you guys think? What do you think about suicide? What do you think? What's a good excuse to commit suicide? Someone once said, I've heard someone say, if you commit suicide, you were never a man to begin with. But we live in a world which convinces people that there are no solutions. I can't tell you how many people I know who tell me they're depressed. They tell me they're depressed, and I tell them that, okay, but when you're talking to me, are you depressed now? We're having a conversation on the phone, for example. No, we're having a nice conversation, right? Okay, because in my world, there is no depression. I don't believe in this shit. I never have, and I don't participate in this type of bullshit. Okay. And people just refuse to accept that when what happens to people is that something bad happens, and then it's like they indulge in this negativity for whatever reason. They just refuse to be positive about it. It's for some reason I'm an asshole for pointing out to somebody who's going through hard times, for pointing out to them, look, I understand that there's bad things happening to you, but look around you. Your family is alive. You are not on the street. You're in a nice warm home. You're healthy. You have your health. Do you have any idea what a gift that is? There are some people who would do anything to have their health back. Do you understand? For me, it's just like, how can you just think about this for a second? I'm not trying to say that your problems don't matter. We all got problems, but just think about the good stuff for a fucking minute. Just acknowledge the good stuff for a second, and just focus on that. Let's just begin with that. No, you don't understand. Maybe I don't get it. Maybe I'm stupid. Sorry for trying to be fucking positive. Sorry for trying to bring some positivity into your life. Somebody dumped you, now you're depressed. Fuck that shit. Let's go to the gym. I've been dumped before. I know what that feels like. Depression is a lot like being hungry. It's not a feeling you can just ignore. Okay, base in bits. Rate your girlfriend from 0 to 10. Do you have a girlfriend? Base in bits. Says you can't. It's not a feeling you can ignore. Okay. Okay, base in bits. What I guarantee you right now, and I'm using the, listen guys, I don't know if you guys put this shit together. I'll tell you why it's relevant, okay? Having a good girlfriend, it's not about pussy, it's not about any of that dumb shit. What I'm talking about is having somebody in your life who you love, who really loves you, who's a quality asset, who's a really, really excellent asset in your life. Somebody who's genuinely a positive person in your life, who's great in every way, who you love the company of, who you enjoy life with. If you have somebody like this in your life, there's no depression. But you don't have somebody like this in your life, that's why you're depressed. Okay? So if you recognize that, okay, life would be fucking amazing if I had a beautiful, sweet, great, loving girlfriend who I can hang out with and do fun stuff with, and we could go out and go places and go on adventures together. If you understood this, if you accepted this, if you acknowledged this, you know it's true, and you decided that I'm going to do something to get this type of life, then you wouldn't be depressed anymore, because you'll be focusing on getting this stuff. But then you get people telling me, oh, but you don't understand, you literally can't get out of bed. If I put a gun to your head, you're gonna get out of fucking bed. Alright, so don't give me that bullshit either. You know, Sky Ocean, I'm beginning to think you're a punk. So I think, you know, this type of shit is exactly why I love doing these live streams. This is exactly the type of shit. Because someone's gonna be watching this. Someone's gonna understand. And there's gonna be some people who watch this stuff who are gonna send me a message 6 months from now. Because this happens all the time. Aryan, thank you for saying it this way. You changed me. I was a fucking loser living in the basement, making up excuses, just playing video games. I started hitting the gym. I started going out. I started talking to people. My life is amazing now. Thank you for telling me like it is. But you guys are gonna be over here talking about, oh, you're just trying to be Andrew Tate. You're just trying to. This is not for you guys, because you're gonna remain in the position where you're at. You wouldn't understand. And I hope that one day you guys figure it out, because if this doesn't resonate with you, you're in for a rough time. I know that. I don't wish that upon you, but I'm just letting you know. Consider what I'm saying. I'm saying this to you as in an attempt to give you something positive, okay? And you're trying to reject something positive. Give me some more bevels. So Ocean, Sky Ocean. There are childs dying from hunger in the world. Yeah, exactly. And you're depressed. You got food. Robin Williams killed himself when he had everything and more. Really? You know what I learned the other day, guys? Let me tell you something about Robin Williams. And I don't know shit about Robin Williams, just to be clear. But I think he went to therapy for a long time because of depression and all this shit. I learned the other day, because I know somebody who's going to this therapy because of depression. And I learned that when they go to these therapy sessions with a psychologist or psychiatrist or whoever the fuck is appointed to take care of these people, take care of them. When they go there, what happens is they talk about their problems. They talk about whatever is, whatever you're struggling with. And I've been told by the person that goes there that the psychiatrist said that they're not supposed to give them any advice. They're not supposed to try and give them any concrete advice on how to fix their problems. They're not allowed to do that. That's not their job. Their job is to listen and prescribe the appropriate treatment, which is usually just medication, antidepressant pills. Does that make any sense to you? They're gonna give you drugs instead of telling you, because you know what happens a lot. I'll give you Mac Miller as another example. If you listen to Mac Miller, this is a kid who started rapping and all this, started making money, got the fame, got the women and all this. But you can see throughout his, if you listen to any of his songs, you're gonna recognize that he's deeply unhappy because this whole time he thought that it's the money and the women and the fame that's gonna give him happiness. But it isn't. It didn't give him the fulfillment that he was looking for. And he keeps chasing that. He keeps indulging in drugs. And as a result, he ended up killing himself because he couldn't find any other way to satisfy his heart. This is what I've understood from this guy's music. Right? So, I think probably something similar happened with this fucker. What's his name? Robin Williams. Okay? This is somebody who saw no greater purpose. Because if you see greater purpose in life, you understand that, okay, well, maybe you're struggling with something, but it's not necessarily about that. Because if you find your purpose, you're not worried about yourself. You're worried about what you can contribute to this world, how you can help other people. It doesn't matter how you feel. Forget about that part. But the people who don't recognize it, they're just thinking about themselves. And they're thinking, how can I make myself happy? I used to feel the same way at some point in my life. And then I realized, well, forget about me. Let's just do what we're supposed to do. Let's just try to do something positive for the world. And then you're on a mission. Then you're focusing on something. And you stop worrying about your feelings. And this is what happens to a lot of these people. He had nothing else to pursue and strive forward. There you go. There you go. And he started probably, I don't know, hookers and blow. I don't know what the hell the guy was doing. But I'm sure that if this guy tried to do something, if he realized, let's say, for example, I don't know, super rich guy, obviously, if he went on a mission to do something good, how can you kill yourself if you're really on a mission? So clearly he lacked some sort of a purpose in life, some sort of a goal to make the world a better place. Otherwise, why do you kill himself? You got a mission to complete. What the fuck's the matter with you? What are you talking about? You gonna tap out? He got diagnosed. Yeah, I don't know anything about Robin Williams, but this is what happens to a lot of people. And just think about this. Stop worrying about your feelings. If you're depressed, forget about it. Just find something to do. Yeah, Maddie CB, listen, you go watch another stream somewhere. I'm a tool, it's fine. And for a while, Aryan, I've been watching the videos for a while, and they skyrocketed my skills in such a short time. That's good. But you know, Sky Ocean, you know something? You're over here in the comment section on my videos, which you don't like. You don't like me, you don't like what I'm saying, but you're commenting on my videos. I think that's pretty interesting. What do you say to that, Sky Ocean? If you're not a loser in a basement, why are you arguing with, why are you talking to somebody who you don't even like? Tell me that. Do yourself a favor, man. Go out. Get out of the house. Do some sports. Hit the gym. This is not going to help you. You're poisoning your own soul. You're not poisoning mine. Give me a crease. Let's try a crease on this. If we crease it, we got to crease this shit too. But that gives us a sharp line, which I don't think looks good. Probably bevels can help us, but let's try. Maybe we can inset it. You know what's amazing, guys, about streaming? For me in particular, streaming in the Blender community, I have certain opinions which for whatever reason upset people. For whatever reason they upset people. And then people want to argue, and people they get so upset and they get so mad about it. Listen, you're watching some shirtless dude on a Monday night, Tuesday night, whatever the hell it is, Wednesday night. You're watching a shirtless guy modeling something, and you don't like him. He's cussing, and you're over here getting mad. I love this shit, man. Because if you want Blender, you can go watch my Blender videos. Because the reason I do this is so I can talk to people about this type of shit. And you're still here after 3 hours. So don't be so negative, Ocean View. Ocean View, would you say you're depressed? Or Ocean Sky, whatever the hell your name is. Would you say that you're depressed? Or what was your problem this whole time? This is supposed to blend in nicely. And then this part is supposed to be quite sharp. Loop cut's not gonna save us. Maybe we can inset something like this. Where did Matt CB go? What age did you start learning Blender? Probably like 14. But then I quit. Because I don't know, I didn't really have a real purpose in it. Then I started again when I was 20. And that's when I took it seriously. Yeah, Satisfy memes, I think you're right about that one. I think you're right. But I also think I'm gonna have to figure out something with the creases. But not this. Something like this kind of works if I can put this back into place later. Because if I just apply one level of subdivision surface, I do get more geometry, but I still get this curved part down here. Maybe I can flatten it. Let's figure out a different way to arrange the topology. Because what happens here, I think, instead of instead of this part sticking out, it's supposed to be this just continues on the trajectory that it's on, but this part just kind of goes inwards a little bit. This part here just drops down. So what we're supposed to do is get rid of these edges here, and maybe we can relax these entire 2 edge loops here. Or at least do something like this. Hold on. Wow. Sunday. What am I doing on Sunday? Is Aryan married and does he have kids? I would never tell you that. James Despise. He agrees with my views, but he doesn't agree when it comes to video games. Here we go again. Guys, tell me something new. You know what's crazy? Anybody who ever told me I stopped playing video games, Aryans, because of what you said, their life is amazing. It's crazy how the people who watch these Blender videos, they grew up with the computer. They don't understand real life. A lot of times, a lot of you guys are like this, unfortunately. And if that offends you, then well, you're one of those people. Because you only get offended by something if there's a little bit of truth in it. Otherwise, why would it offend you? The problem is that a lot of times the people that grow up with the computer, they do it because they don't do very well in real life. But it's easy to do well on the computer. Just play a video game. That's an easy way out. And then they don't want to admit it. That's what happens with people who grow up in video games. It's a very sad reality, I think. And I'm here to save those who want to be saved. I'm here to tell you that, so that if you recognize it, you can get your shit together and maybe see what it's like to get a blowjob and have some real friends and have a cool life. Now, of course, if you don't want to do that, then well, I don't know why you're watching my channel, because that's the essence of my being, is living a good life and not playing fucking video games. Games are for children, aren't they? Isn't playing and having fun for kids? Guys, 100 years ago, dudes your age were in the trenches. What are you talking about? Alright, Sky Ocean. Sky Ocean is just here throwing insults, so we're gonna mute his ass. Hold on, I just removed one message. See, he said I'm insecure. That's how it goes. He says I'm insecure while he's in my fucking comment section he's watching a dude he doesn't like. Guys, use this as a lesson, please. He's watching a dude he doesn't fucking like. He says he's watching because of modeling. We all know this. Listen, guys, fuck the modeling. There's a million other places where you can go watch Blender modeling. He's watching me because I get him emotionally stimulated. I'm saying certain things that for some reason are very irritating to him, to this person. And then he calls me insecure because of this. Because what he's implying is that I'm not happy with myself, so I'm trying to bring him down, so that I kind of make myself feel better in contrast. That's what he's trying to imply. Okay, when all I'm really trying to tell you is that if I'm really speaking to the people who ask me for advice on life or whatever, and I tell them certain things, and now this guy gets mad and he disagrees with me, and he tells me, oh, suicide and depression and all this shit. Okay, you do it your way, I'll do it my way. If I'm insecure, then I'm insecure. That's fine. See, check this out, Black Pelican. I've been grinding FPS games for years and even made a few thousand playing tourneys. But at some point the realization hits that it's a massive waste of time. I don't think we need to put that at a different angle. But let's see what happens now. Now we're getting somewhere. It's blending in quite nicely. Maybe if we could sharpen this a little more, but I don't think we're gonna have to do that. I think honestly it'll be a waste of time. We don't need this loop. What about this one? We're gonna crease this instead for now. You know what I never understood, guys? Hey Aryan, what's your take on add-ons like Hard Ops, Box Cutter? I don't know, I never used any of those add-ons. I'm not interested in that stuff. I don't know, probably they're good. I don't know, I don't know what to tell you. I just like old school hard surface modeling, like what you see right here. I don't really use any add-ons. This kind of bothers me, so I'm gonna try to fix it. There we go. And we also have to make this part sharper down here. I'm trying to think of a story to tell you guys. Something that I've observed over the years, but I'm not sure if I should tell you because I'm trying to be careful and not talk about people. I'm trying to not drop no names or expose any personal details about nobody. Aryan, if you had a son, would you encourage him to be like you, or would you just let him go his own way? When you have a son, here's what can happen. Okay, fuck it. This is good enough for now. Here's what can happen. Either... So, listen. A child is a blank canvas. We all know this. A newborn baby is a blank canvas. And a blank canvas is going to turn into whatever gets thrown its way. It's going to become that. It's very... It can be turned into anything, depending on what you do with it. So... It's going to become either what you teach it or what somebody else teaches it. That's what's going to happen to the child. Because the only way that a child can develop into an adult is by looking at other people and emulating, right? That's how you learn to speak. That's how you learn to walk. That's how you learn to socialize. You look at other people and you try to do what they're doing. This is why if you're hanging out with people who play video games, you're gonna play video games because that's what others are doing. We're programmed to want to fit in with people around us, right? So you're just doing what they're doing. It's a reflex almost. So the kid's gonna do whatever you're doing. So, for example, when Sky Ocean is gonna be playing video games, the kid's gonna see that and the kid's gonna be interested. What's dad doing? I want to go play video games as well. Okay. When the kid sees him eating fast food or whatever the case may be, the kid's gonna do the same thing. Now, when a kid sees his dad doing push-ups, training, talking to mom in a certain way, in a great way, socializing with people, having friends, talking about certain subjects, reading things on the internet about interesting subjects and educating himself on certain matters and important things in life, the kid's gonna be interested in that as well. Okay? So you can be the kind of parent who just allows your kid, just give him the fucking iPhone, but you know that the phone is designed to program your child into something. All these applications are designed to make you want to use them more and more. They don't care about anything else. They just want you to use the application, spend your money there. They're gonna make you a slave to them. We all know this. So if you don't take control of what's entering your child's mind, someone else is gonna do it. They're gonna run into something. They're gonna like some idiot rapper or something, and they're gonna pick up their habits. They're gonna become like them. Perhaps. Who knows? Maybe they find a good influence. Maybe they're lucky. But you're supposed to influence your child in a positive way. You're supposed to guide them. Isn't that the whole point? You're supposed to make them a better version of you. Rumble live stream. Whole tricks. If I do a Rumble live stream, oh man, we're both going down. Would you teach him Blender? Hell no, I would not. Hell no, I would not. Yeah, I would teach my child to be like me in many ways, because my life is currently pretty much the life that I've always wanted to live. I've become the person that I always wanted to be when I was younger, and life is pretty fucking great. I would want that for my child as well. How do I add some thickness to this piece back here? So I would teach them what I know. For example, in my life, it's an axiom that working out, training, makes life better. In my world, that's just simply a fact. For me, it's I can't imagine how some people can find a way to disagree with this. How is it possible to get to a place in life where you really believe that it's inappropriate to think positively sometimes, where you can be offended by somebody giving you some honest truth? Or where, you know what I'm talking about. To me, this is unbelievable. So I'm gonna teach my kid. For my kid, they gotta do some sports. You crazy? You don't want to do sports? What's the matter with you? You're a human being. You got arms and legs. You're gonna use them. It's like putting a dog in a cardboard box for his entire life. He's supposed to run. He's got legs. What are you talking about? Of course, you gotta train something. And then there's gonna be some idiot saying, "Aryan, are you gonna force your kid? Are you gonna beat him? And are you gonna?" Of course not. That's not the point, you dumbass. The point is you're supposed to be a positive influence on him. You're supposed to guide them. You're supposed to teach them. Which means you have to be good as well. Now, there's going to be also some people who are mad because they never had nobody like this in their life who they can look up to. And instead of finding somebody to look up to, they just despise anybody who says things like this. I'm tempted to try and connect this down here, but I really don't want to spend no more time on this object right here. Should we give it some carbon fiber? Carbon fiber. Now we gotta unwrap it. So how are we gonna unwrap this one? We're gonna do a cut here. And then on the inside here, let's try. Not bad. Not bad, but I want to make it a little more shiny. No, I don't. I'll keep it like this. And then we need to make this material, which I don't want to do here today. How long we been here, guys? We've been here 3 hours. That's it, guys. We're gonna wrap it up. Let's talk about the chat a little bit longer. Let me see who's... Aryan, where are you from? You gotta guess. I teach my child about game development. Says James the Spies. Honestly, finding crazy how people take time from their lives to shit on you. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, man. For me, it's just letters on the fucking screen, and it doesn't have anything to do with me in real life. So I don't understand how somebody can see it as how somebody who never met me can see me anything more than just pixels on a screen, dude. What the fuck? If you don't like it, just don't watch it. It's like when you're watching television and you find a movie that you don't like for whatever, you just scroll the channel. What's the problem? But the interesting thing is, what is it that makes them feel the need to argue with me, to comment here? What is it that drives this desire? Why? Why? Why would you spend your time on this if you don't like it? You're doing something that you don't like. I really don't get it. You could be doing something nice for yourself. You could be hanging out with somebody. You could be watching something that you like. Why? But I don't get it. It's fucking crazy. Can you imagine that my classmates' parents letting them smoke e-cigarettes? Yeah, I can imagine. I know parents who teach their children, the daughters, to be whores, to be sluts, to suck dick. They're talking about from a young age. I've seen this. This is fucking crazy. I know some people, man. Broken ass family, and this woman's a slut. Just like a big time slut. Just like can't stop talking about the dicks she's been sucking. Can't stop talking about how many dudes fucked her in different ways and all this. And she's got like a 13-year-old daughter. You know, 3 daughters, and she'll be teaching them about this. Like encouraging them to go suck dick, and I don't get it, man. It's sick. So yeah, I believe you that just parents who let their kids smoke e-cigarettes. Every time I see vape, I cringe. I also cringe. If you're gonna smoke, do the real thing. What's the name of the image reference if it's pure ref? Pure ref. I'll type it in chat. Pure ref. You guys are talking about cheating taxes. That's what I'm talking about. Guys, how many times... Okay, look. Here's my Mac cap. Here's my Mac cap. I'll tell you again. By default, it'll look like this. This is default. What I do is I open up this menu. I switch to Mac cap. I pick number 5. I go to single. I set the color to blue, this one here. And then I scroll down to cavity. I switch that to both, and then I crank that shit up. And that's how you get the matte cap. And you can pick whatever color you want. Look, you can make it cute. You can make it pink. You can make it more intense. You can do whatever. Try it. Make your own. Don't be copying mine. No, do be copying mine, so they're asking you where you got it from. You're going to tell them Aryan. You know what's crazy about these live streams, guys? You know what's crazy about me being in this whole Blender 3D shit? Most 3D people, most people in this world, and I think Holtrix understands me, I got nothing in common with these people anymore. Really nothing. Apart from this 3D modeling, we have nothing in common. So I'm just I'm completely like just out of the fucking game. I just don't have nothing in common with these people. So to them, it's just like, man, who the fuck are you? To a lot of these people. And then I figured out that a lot of people, they understand, because the reason we're different is because a lot of these 3D artists, they're just living on the computer. That's their life. They don't do anything. A lot of times, not all of them, of course not all of them, but a lot of times they don't have a life. They just sit on the computer all day. Now some of them, they're just bitter, so they hate me, they're mad because I'm an asshole, okay, whatever. But then there's the other type that really wants to, you know, because I understand how this feels. I was the same, and I always just wanted, I knew there was more to life than being on the computer. Come on, man. And I always wanted to get out of that shit. I wanted to find a way to become a better person and live a better life. I just didn't know how to do it. So I needed somebody to tell me this shit. So when somebody told me, I didn't get mad. I was like, okay, well, you know, you're right. I should hit the gym. I should learn to socialize with people. And that's the people that I like doing this for. And it's really interesting what's happening in the world that we live in today, because most people, they don't live real life anymore in general. In the younger generations, they don't have any basic social skills. They don't know how to. They're just socially awkward and weird, and they can't introduce themselves like an adult. We're talking about grown people, and they don't know how to act. They don't know how to carry themselves. They don't know nothing of like just the basic adulthood shit, which is just weird to me. What piece of advice would you give to a 19-year-old guy? Are you talking about 3D? If it's about 3D, then just watch tutorials and practice and do some serious projects and pick the direction you want to go in. But if we're talking about life advice in general, decide what you want to do with your life. Just Google it, how to become whatever you want to become, and just do that. And just understand that you're gonna have to be different from everybody else. If you want to get somewhere in your life, then that means you have something to your personality which 99% of people don't have, because most people don't have real ambitions and goals. They say they do, but they really don't. They have no grit whatsoever. Which means if you want to accomplish something in life, you gotta do completely the opposite of what everybody else is doing. Unfortunately, that's how it goes. What I really want to do is this dashboard right here. Not the dashboard, the center console. This is where things get really interesting. This is where things get crazy. Aryan, do you agree that OFM is gay? I don't know what that is. OFM. I'm gonna take a leak, and then you're gonna tell me what OFM is, and I'm gonna come back and we're gonna wrap it up. OnlyFans management. I got kicked out of my job because of my bad topology. I want to master topology. Watch my videos and also watch Thomas Collins' videos. Do I want to do something else? I really don't. That's it, guys. That's all she wrote. Topology is one of the most important things. Always remember that. For 3D modeling at the moment. Topology is what separates you from the amateurs. If you have topology, it's like becoming a man. It's like losing your virginity as a teenager. All of a sudden you're the cool kid in the group. You know what I mean? It's like being the smoker amongst a bunch of 13-year-olds. The first 13-year-old to smoke is cool. It's gonna be you if you learn topology. Here, clients are very rude to artists. Yeah, well, fuck it, man. People who are rude, you don't gotta talk to them. Just talk to somebody else. Alright, guys. I think I'm gonna do another stream soon where I'm gonna continue doing some modeling on this. Particularly, I want to focus on some of the hard surface details like these things, or maybe the back side of the steering wheel. It's gonna be a real pain in the ass. What I'm thinking I'll do, probably off camera because this shit is boring, I'll make the rest of these surfaces that you can't see, which are just a headache, just to do and to watch, and there's no way to make this fun. And then I'll start adding some details onto those on the stream. So that's gonna be interesting. So I guess you're not a big Josh Gamble fan. I don't know anything about Josh Gamble, and I don't talk about other people like that. All right, guys. Check out our Blender school if you want to become a professional 3D artist. If you want to learn about all the modeling techniques that you see me use in my videos, you can check that out. There's a link in the description. You can get in for a discount and price now, and you're gonna be amongst over 100 people who are in there because they want to be professional 3D artists. All right, so if you want to be a professional, which is why I'm assuming most people are doing this, I think at least half of you guys are doing this because you want to make a living off of this shit. The problem is that nobody's talking about how to make a living off of this shit. I see this guy on Instagram all the time. Replace your 9 to 5 with high-paying clients for 3D artists. It's just like running ads, just like default ass, basic ass shit. I don't know who it is. I have no idea who this guy is, but he's just advertising like the most basic ass bullshit. It's a clearly selling fog, okay? And the reason we have the Digitally Enhanced Club is because it's gonna tell you the stuff that you don't want to hear, but you have to hear. Okay? It's gonna tell you this. How do you actually get into the industry? How do you put yourself in a position that you can talk to people who can get you jobs? How do you actually get clients? Because there's no magic outreach template. I know they've been telling you this for the last I don't know how many years. These channels been telling you, just do this, send this message to a million people, and boom, that's it. That's all you need. That's not how it fucking works. You gotta put yourself in a position where if you don't have your portfolio sorted, if you don't have a bunch of projects designed to put you into a particular niche, there's no message you can send if you don't have a good Instagram account, if you don't have a good presence on social media. The message is not going to help you. It can work, but you got to make sure that you present yourself as a professional first. And that's the first thing we're going to teach you inside the Digitally Enhanced Club, all right? And then you can start worrying about how to do outreach. Then you can start worrying about networking with people. Then you can start figuring out ways to actually get proper jobs. Because at that point, it's easy. Once you make yourself a quality product. Guys, the reason I'm talking about girls all the time is because it's the same shit. You're not going to get a good girlfriend if you ain't shit. If you want to get a good girlfriend, you got to get your shit together first. You got to get your body on point. You got to get your personality on point. You got to get your confidence up. You got to make sure that you have a good life. And then the girl is going to want to have something to do with you. There's nothing you can tell her if you're a fat fucker with no personality who just plays video games. There's no way to do it. The same way you can't reach out to somebody if you got a shitty portfolio. Okay? And if you want to build your portfolio, follow the template that we use inside the Digitally Enhanced Club. I post this shit on my Instagram all the time, guys. I post these people from the club. I'm going to post some more of them now, today or tomorrow, because I want to give some shout outs. And you guys are going to see what a portfolio is when it's done according to the Digitally Enhanced Club. You're going to see people with 10,000 followers on Instagram. If you want this to be you, then join the fucking school and we're going to tell you how to do it. And then they're going to start reaching out to you. That's the whole point of this shit, okay? Once you get to a certain level on Instagram, once you have engagement, once you get people watching you and commenting on your shit and people wanting to talk to you, you don't even have to reach out to people anymore. People reach out to you and you start talking to people, and before you know it, this guy's working at some job where this guy's got a client, he needs your help with something, or there's an open position at this studio. This is how you meet friends in the industry. This is how Thomas Collin and I are friends, because I'm making content. And I ran into Thomas Collin, I ran into other serious people in the game, and this is how it goes. And if you want to do the same shit, that's what we talk about inside the Digitally Enhanced Club, alright? Alright guys, I'll see you on the next live stream. And follow me on Instagram if you want to talk to me, you want to ask me a question and all this shit. So I'll see you guys in the next one.